The Rap Roundtable.
Yes, sir. Episode 68 of the most dangerous podcast, New York's #1 podcast right now. The infamous, the glorious, the problematic Rap Roundtable. We are here. It's your boy Jav here, alongside Cicida Rap Snob.
What up, what up?
Alongside Dini the Balance.
May the force be with you.
Alongside the homie Mase.
What up, gang?
You got the four of us in the building. You can find the Rap Roundtable on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and of course Twitter. Elon shaking some things up at Twitter. I don't like some of the news I read today, Mr. Musk. Leave Twitter alone. I kind of like it right where it's at right now. Some people are complaining, but we like it. It's working for us.
It is.
Leave it alone. Real quick, we got to give a big shout out to the pizzeria that gets us right after we record these podcasts in the studio.
Absolutely.
Donona Rosa in Park Slope. Some of the best pizza in New York City. This is a free ad, by the way. They didn't ask us to do this.
Not at all.
But when we go to the pizza spot and we order a slice and somehow we end up with a whole pie for free, it's like, it's only right that we shout them out. Because
they show love, we show love back.
Of course, absolutely.
Right. Don't expect a whole pie for free, yo.
Nah, not you.
They don't
We
got
might.
that kind of juice.
So if you're in the Park Slope area, if you're in Brooklyn, period, and you just trying to get some pizza, make your way over there. Donona Rosa, top tier pizza. No funny. We're not even gassing it.
Listen.
It's the reason why we go there after every recording. It's really good. So ask Easy. If you don't believe us, ask Easy. Easy's in the spot with us. He got some of that free pizza
He pulled
too.
up.
Right.
Shout out to Ease, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask Ace SL too. He popped out.
That's a
Yeah,
fact. That's a
shout out to
fact.
Ace.
Eating good as always. You know what I mean?
147th Avenue.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Park Slope. Shout out to Donona Rosa. Fellas, I'm excited to record as always. This is my favorite time to come into the studio with you guys. We got a few topics to talk about tonight.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
even in probably the slow. I felt like 2022 was consistently active, and because of that, we're paying for it in 2023. It's not a lot going on in rap. We've been manufacturing content. You look at all your favorite channels who are in the space. They are manufacturing content at a high level right now.
Yes, sir. Find something to talk about. And
Oh yeah, even the people who are trying
argue about
hip hop,
even people who are trying to steal sauce. I saw Success send me a picture in the text message from another platform. It's not none of the people in the network. Not according to hip hop. Not Ease. We're not shooting at them. But it's somebody completely unrelated to what we do, but they're stealing sauce. Sent that shit to me. I'm like, yo, next time just ask one of us to do it for you, bro, because what you did was garbage. You know what I mean?
It's not a good job, man.
Don't steal sauce if you're not gonna do it right. You heard?
Yeah,
That's a fact.
But let's get into this topic. Let me get my favorite drop in there.
We are tonight's entertainment.
All right, fellas, let's work. So I'm on the internet perusing as always because again, in this slow period, you gotta find where the conversations are.
Right.
And right now, Twitter is the hotbed for rap discussions. Out of all the social media platforms, every conversation is happening on Twitter right now.
That's why Elon gotta leave us alone.
Leave it alone,
Please.
Leave it
Elon.
alone.
Let him
I'm
cook.
gonna tell
Let
him-
us enjoy this, man.
What we gonna do, Elon? You fuck it up.
You
Fact.
can't go to TikTok. They're gonna ban that shit.
Nah,
I mean, they should. You know, I'm an angry old head. When it comes to TikTok, I hate TikTok.
It's a different
Get it out of here. When I'm at work and I just see this all day.
Yeah.
from
There's a
grown
lot-
ass
there's a lot
people,
more on
bro.
TikTok.
I work
There's a lot
in-
more than that.
Yo, bro, I don't know. I work in the school. The kid gets in trouble. I gotta pull him out of class and talk to him. And the whole time talking to him, he's doing the TikTok routine. And it's like, yo, they're just training hyperactivity. They're leaning into ADD culture. And it's like, yo, get TikTok. All right, I'm ranting.
Get some
I'm
real
ranting.
Y'all,
No,
at least
no,
you
it's
get to
really-
go home. I gotta live with that shit, bro.
Nah, that's real shit. I just seen this joint where there was a mother took a baby to the hospital. And the baby has some breathing problems. But like the TikTok is about the baby having breathing problems,
Right.
but she the whole time like while the text
Wow.
is saying, "Yo,
Disgusting.
took the baby to the hospital. They discovered some breathing problems," but the whole time she's popping and locking.
Like,
and
what
shit.
the
I'm
fuck
like,
that got to do with the
what are
breathing?
you doing?
Yo,
This whole
man.
generation don't take nothing serious.
Listen.
Have y'all ever
At
come
all.
home
Er-
and went into your YouTube on your home television and the search bar says 1 hour of sturdy songs? I didn't know that.
God.
That wasn't me.
That's a rough life.
Jesus
Listen,
Christ.
early on for job, I don't usually do this, but when it comes to TikTok, get the fuck out of here. I hate it.
The early
I hate it.
segment.
I cannot stand it.
Amen.
Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So, of course, beats, rhymes, and lists. You know, people who've been providing some top tier content for the Rap Roundtable.
Right.
You know what I'm
Shout out to
saying?
y'all.
He didn't send us this, but it was a tweet and it was talking about the kings of New York.
Yeah.
So it was a question about who was the best king of New York. And I believe Big was on that list.
Right.
Hove was on that list.
Right.
Esco was on that list.
Okay.
And 50 Cent was on that list. So I'm like, that's a pretty illustrious list.
I believe.
I don't know if there's a king of New York right now, but the talk is Rome Streets might have the crown. That's the conversation that's being had on the internet. But those are the big four, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree with that. I see Mase already taking a sip. You know, you didn't tap in with us for the lunch hour, so we coming to you first.
Right.
Based on that four, do you have anyone else in the conversation? And where would you rank the kings of New York?
Based on that, I don't have any other people to add to the list. I know there's been like middle periods where like randoms have been trying to subscribe that they got the crown, but never like on some citywide, statewide level where everybody was like, yo, this is the guy. You know what I mean? So, you know, the fact that Jav asked me to rank him, that was already what I was coming in to do, honestly. You know what I mean? Because that's basically, and we're not talking about best artists out of New York. We're not talking about best lyricists. When it comes to King of New York, I don't know. Maybe they need like a little explanation about it.
Breakdown. A persona,
right?
A standing in the culture of New York. You know what I mean? And you got to claim it, because there's some artists like DMX who in '98, from the outside looking in, we could have been like, yo, '98 that might have been DMX's year. He might have been the biggest in New York, but he was never the type of artist to claim King of New York.
Right.
So if he wasn't really claiming it, do we really give it to him? You know what I mean? It's that
streets, man. So yeah.
So thank you for the explanation, Sin. I felt like they needed that, you know, rather than to just kick in the door and say, nah, he's not fucking with the jizz in 94. You know what I mean? Scaring the hole. You know what I mean?
95.
So my fault, 95.
South Pole sweats and all that. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Ready to fight. You know what I mean? Catching you in the elevator like Bishop. You feel me? But you know, overall, all four, these are four strong candidates. You know what I mean?
Okay.
These are, you know, these are, in my lifetime, these have been the kings of New York. I feel like, you know, even as a little kid, I might have remembered Big, you know, being the guy, you know what I mean? Asking my cousin to turn the station from MTV Raps. I wanted to watch some Barney, but you know how that goes. So if I had to, you know, go from, you know, the top, pause, you know, from the top to the bottom, pause, and just in case.
It wasn't me this time, y'all.
Right? I beat Sin this time.
It wasn't me.
Unhealthy.
I would say the you know, the number one king in New York, I'ma have to go Big. I'm sorry, y'all. The original, you know what I mean? The Frank White, the person who was on the Source cover, the only person I feel like other MCs that, you know, had a shot at the crown acknowledged as the king. You know what I mean? I feel like that has something to do with it. You know what I mean? I gotta say, you know, when Big was the guy, you know, other than, you know, Raekwon and all of them, they was like, yeah, he's the guy, you know. I feel like he was the best artist out of these guys. I feel like he was the king in the most competitive era. You know what I mean? So that has to count for something. And basically, you know, his team was running shit at the time. Let's keep it a buck. We can say that about multiple candidates, but Bad Boy in 95, 96, come on, when, you know, early 97 when he was alive, that was different, y'all.
Yeah.
You know, so I would go Big number one. I would go Jay number two.
Okay.
Longest run, you know what I mean? Another super strong team, you know what I mean? You know, when Jay was the guy, you know, it might have not been as competitive as Big because of the Big. There was so many high level artists at the top of the game, at the top of their game. You know what I mean? So, but as many people was taking shots at Jay as they were Big. Like, let's keep it a stack. Like,
maybe more.
Shaq going crazy right now.
Right. Listen.
They fell in the
Now, number three.
How could he? He didn't write his bars.
Right. Jesus Christ. Number
All
three.
his bars were big
Local
bars.
celebrity rapper.
Local celebrity rapper.
Local celebrity rapper.
Local celebrity
Damn
rapper.
it,
Number
man.
two. Don't shoot me, guys. Number three. I'm gonna have to go 50 Cent, guys. 50, you know, when he did his thing, he had the highest selling album. You know what I mean? He had the biggest hits. He was, you know, if we look at all these guys on a worldwide scale, 50 is the one. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. You know, now, I know people gonna be upset, you know, that I have Nas number 4. This is not saying Nas is the 4th best out of these guys. We're talking about the reign as king. And when and honestly, I want to compliment him first. During his reign, I'll say
when was his reign?
His reign
96.
was 94. I'll say 94. And then I think he grabbed it back in 2002. You know what I mean? So
wait, whoa. He didn't have it in 96?
We're not gonna forget
that was
Biggie
Smalls,
though, bro.
That was Biggie
Biggie
Smalls.
was the man back then.
Yeah, man.
Biggie had
Pac
it in 95.
But as far as
He
New
didn't
York,
give it up in 96, and it was 95 through
New York.
97. But you know, I want to compliment him. You know, he had the best album in '94 of all time. You know what I mean? And then when he recaptured the crown, he's the only one that actually won a battle. You know, I guess 50 beat Ja, but Ja he wasn't in the running for shit, guys. Let's be honest. But
he's
honestly,
not in the running for King of New York?
Who's that? Ja? Oh, hell no.
Shout out to Ja,
no.
but no, bro.
And so the reason I have Nas fourth is because honestly, he had the weakest team. There wasn't a team around him. You know, everybody else had a Phil Jackson-like figure, as well as a team behind them that kind of lifted them up to be that king. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like Nas had a kingdom at the time. You know what I mean? He was the least successful commercially out of these four artists. So while on like a critical level, people might have felt that it wasn't like he was selling 10 million records or 5 million records and guys was like, see, like obviously he's the guy, you know. And another thing that Sim brought up is he didn't have it for consecutive years. Right. You know what I mean? I feel like Jay had a consecutive run, Big had a consecutive run, 50 had a consecutive run. I never felt like Nas had those 2, 3, 4 year where he locked it up. You know what I'm saying? So I'll take the shots that, you know, I know homie with the Z in his name is getting at me right now. I know Jack is going crazy right now. You know what I mean? Jack is going wild right now. He's cursing me out. But you guys go ahead, man, because I already, you know.
Sincere, I know you're ready to go out. So, you know what I mean?
Oh, man. Where do I start?
Oh, no.
First of all, I do want to reiterate something that Mase said in regards to Nas and not really having that same team. That's something that I've wanted to bring up, and I guess this is as good a time as any because you mentioned it. You know what I mean? Like, Big had Bad Boy, Jay had Rockefeller, 50 had G-Unit. Nas, it always felt like it was, you know, it was him for Dolo. Like he said on Last Real Nigga Live, heard me when I had to kill him in his whole squad for Dolo. He was always like a loner type of dude. Bravehearts, we know how that turned out, but always, you know, always respected Nas for being like that loner dude and holding it down for himself. You know what I mean? As far as King of New York and who the biggest king was, I'm gonna have to concur with Mase and say that it was Big, because for a couple reasons. One, I feel like he's the one that, because when Nas came in with Illmatic, he was just like a gifted MC, street poet. He just wanted to make the best album with the best producers, and just lock in and make great art. But it wasn't the type of feeling where he was like, yo, I want to make this album to be like the king of the city. You know what I mean? It wasn't until Big came in and he started claiming it, and then the Source started claiming it for him too, that energy sort of started emerging, right? And so, but beyond that, Big just had, like I was saying before, there's a persona aspect to it, right? Like, and you know, with Nas being this kind of more introverted, laid-back, loner type of dude, Big just fit that persona of being the king and having a throne and a crown and subjects and stuff and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And then, you know, with Ready to Die being so heavy, and then to me, the greatest double album of all time, Life After Death. I think it's hard to argue against Big being like the biggest king of New York and holding it down for himself and for the city. You know what I mean? As far as number 2, I gotta give it to Nas, man. I gotta give it to Nas.
Interesting.
And the reason I give it to Nas is because, like,
wow,
in
bro.
the most competitive,
That's crazy, bro.
in the most competitive era, he claimed it in '96. At least as far as I'm concerned, when it was written, You know what I mean? What was the other huge album out of New York that year? Reasonable Doubt, but Jay wasn't, he wasn't that.
He wasn't nowhere near that conversation.
You know what I mean? And so, unlike what Mase thinks, I think Nas did snatch it back, but albeit briefly in '96, but he did snatch it back when it was written. The message definitely sent a message. There's one life, one love, so there could only be one king. You know what I mean? I think he made a claim for that. Then Big took it back in '97. From there on forth, it was Jay, but I feel like this is now an era where it was less competitive. And Jay also was, I think, he was less interested with being king of New York and more interested with, going into other regions and being played in other, other regions of the country. He, started dipping and dabbling with, more Southern artists. He wanted more radio play. You know what I mean? It was now an era where it wasn't so much about like, yo, who's holding it down for the city? This is the era now where it was like, yo, we gotta expand and go to the South, go to the West. You had the Dynasty album that sounded very, very West Coast. You know what I mean? You had him doing joints with UGK and Too Short, and you know what I mean? Which I might add, Nas might have opened the door for. When he linked up with Dre before it was written, nobody was doing that before him. But I digress.
Hov did write for Dre in 99. He ain't asked Nas to do that. Later. He could have asked the nigga he worked with, but he asked Jay-Z, the hottest nigga on the planet. But go ahead, Sid.
Anyway, I said open the door for it. So
he did go like getting
all the timeline.
He cracked the door, and the door was kicked open by local celebrity rapper.
And then lastly, 50. Just because I don't know, I never really cared for 50 like that. Even though his reign was monstrous, and I did I did admit that in one of our last YouTube videos, but. I don't know. Again, at that in that era, it was less competitive. Who did he take out? He took out Ja. You know what I mean? He didn't battle Jay. He set
Jay
some
shots
at
the game.
Though.
Jay hightailed it out the game, man.
Nah, but he didn't battle.
What you mean?
You know what I mean? It wasn't a battle.
Battle retired, man.
You know what I mean?
There was shots, but I'm about the dollar. What the fuck is 50 Cent? Is the loudest shot ever.
But what I'm saying is it wasn't a battle.
You're right.
It was a shot. It wasn't a battle.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The biggest battle, as far as I'm concerned, and I think we're all concerned, was Nas Jay-Z in 2001. It didn't involve 50. You know what I mean? So I put 50 first.
Okay. So you got Big, Nas, Hov, 50.
Jay, then 50.
All right. Deanie, what's up?
Number one. I got Hov.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I don't think anyone made a bigger stance to claim the city than Hov. And I don't think no one checks off more boxes. The boxes that Biggie misses, Hov has all those boxes checked.
What boxes were those?
Like the longest run.
Oh, because Biggie died?
I mean, that is a part of life, my brother. Right. People pass away. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That counts for something. I mean, it's 2 albums compared to what, like 15?
Like he talking like we could wish Big back
like,
to
life. You know what I'm saying?
The
like
reality
we don't got the Dragon Balls, bro.
Like his life was cut short. Rest in peace to the legend. But because of that, someone picked up the baton. That's just what it is.
And Hov checks off every box. 'Cause I mean, top tier flows, top tier bars, top tier albums, effects on culture as far as fashion, influence. You think of New York, you think of Hov. There was a time when you thought of hip hop, like current hip hop, you thought of Hov. You get what I'm saying? That's gotta matter for something, bro. Like the effects on culture alone. Like he actually had an imprint in the city. Like he had his face on a building in the city. Like it's a different kind of energy, bro. Like to me, Hov checks off every box as far as like he's the quintessential. When you think of a rapper, a successful rapper, what you want to be in the world as a rapper, as far as success, accolades, acclaim, to me that's Jay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I got Jay as number one. For two, I got Big. Because Big carried that mantle well when he was actually doing his King of New York shit. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. Frank White. Like we said, life got cut short. Had 2 amazing albums. I'm sure he would have had a lot more if he was here. Team was amazing. Production was amazing. Secondary man in charge was amazing. Shout out to Puff. Just had great direction. You know what I'm saying? And really stood the test of time. His music still knocks incredibly today. If I'm going 3, I'm going Nas. And if I won't even give it to Nas for the shit he did then, because that we can argue that for days. I would give Nas his run for that now. To be in the 4-peat that he's in, to do in the Garden, to him and Hit Boy just having this magical chemistry. The fact that no one out there is really curating shit together like they are. You get what I'm saying? As consistently as they are. And nobody really has their hands out for New York as far as the top dog right now.
Right.
So if we had to pick a top rapper in New York right now, I would say it is Nas. And I would go with 50. And I'm not giving 50 fourth because he's bad and like that. I mean, like, look at the people we have on the list.
We talking about kings, so it's nothing bad here. You know what I mean?
Facts. But I mean, 50's run was tremendous. I mean, the run. I mean, what can you say about the run, man? 03 was 02?
03.
02
into 03, honestly.
Right. It was a summer thing, right?
I gave 02 Nas, so I gave him 03.
It was immense, man. Inescapable fucking music. Like, Hot 97 was playing the album throughout, bro. I haven't seen some shit like that since they was doing that type of shit with Hove. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give 50 number 4. That's my list.
All right. Some interesting lists here. I like what I hear. The conversation kind of went where I thought it might go. So, you know, I'm not, there's no surprises, I would say.
Right.
All right. So for me, number 1, you know, I can see the arguments in either direction, but local celebrity rapper is number 1 for me. You know, for a lot of the reasons that Dini alluded to, as far as the type of run he had, the longevity, the impact, the true impact, not this saturated impact you see on the internet today, like real tangible impact in the city, as far as walking on the block and hearing cars drive by. You know, that was a thing back in the day. You'd hear Rockefeller music being blasted, Jay-Z music being blasted, controlling the radios, whether the chat says he bought the spins or not. The fact is, he was controlling the city for a very long time. I don't count 96 and 97, but I'm giving him 98. And from 98 through Black Album, New York was his. Not many people could say they had a 5-year run at the top. Like, all right, people gonna say, you know, Nas might have had 2002, but my argument was that battle happened. What stopped? It was business as usual at Rockefeller Industries. We went to Blueprint 2. The singles came out. They did what they were supposed to do. The album did what it was supposed to do. Then we went to by the time Black Album was in its rollout mode, were we talking about the battle anymore? No. They're gonna say it was the marketing. He lied and said he retired. So what? We weren't talking about Nas. That's the point. The fact of the matter is, at that run, the dynasty, the diamond, the Rockefeller chain, the airwaves, me being in high school at the time, the only person who had a tangible conversation about getting him off that throne was 50 Cent. And that was around 02 into 03. Nas did what he was supposed to do in that moment, that singular moment, but the victory lap ended. It wasn't a long victory lap. So I'm giving that to Jay-Z, a.k.a. local celebrity rapper. As much as y'all want to say he was a local act and he wasn't this and he wasn't that, I really don't care. I can lie on the internet. It doesn't faze me. I lived it.
Yeah.
I lived it.
You were here for it.
You know what I'm saying? I was there. Yeah, y'all had Rockaware shit. There was no Esco wear. You know what I mean? Y'all might still be wearing y'all Woo wear. You know what I mean?
There technically was
you
a
wore
label
it?
called Esco.
You wore it?
No.
Exactly.
Esco.
I didn't wear Rockaware.
Esco.
Fuck.
Niggas was wearing Rockaware. Don't get it twisted. Niggas wear Rockaware, bro.
Yeah. But it wasn't, Esco wasn't
Niggas
his
was actually
brand.
even wearing state property shit, if you want to keep it 100. Some niggas had state property gear, bro.
This
You know what I mean?
is the transition from when, like, a good shirt was like $25 and Rockaware comes out of nowhere with Sean John and start. Shirts go to $70, $80 now. They changed the game, bro.
I'm just saying, the impact, the music, really tangible. People were raised on this shit. Sorry, Sin. It's okay. It's okay.
Y'all wasn't around. So
you know what I mean?
Sorry, Jack.
You lived it, and you're becoming one of these niggas on the internet. You got South Pole sweats in your crib?
Some love.
I lived the era you talking about. You didn't live the era I was talking about.
I ain't get there yet.
Exactly.
Why would I talk about Jay-Z in 94? He wasn't doing that. You know what I mean? What do you want? Anyway, number 2, of course, the Notorious B.I.G.
Yes,
Why wouldn't it be? Honestly, you could flip it. If you say
Really
Big,
good.
I'm not mad. If you say Hov, I'm not mad. When you put niggas like Nas, dude, that's when it's like, whoa, time out, buddy.
Hold up.
Slow your roll, bucko. You know, Biggie Smalls, the blueprint for a lot of East Coast rappers. You know, he's the guy. He's like the being that created everything we hear today.
Right.
Even when you
Pinnacle.
listen to your Griselda, as far as technical rap goes, he is the guy.
Yeah.
The reign was elite. Basically, what Jay-Z aspired to become was established by Biggie. And I'm pretty sure whatever rocker it was, all joking aside, Big would have had his clothing line. He would have had his footwear. He would have had the classics. He was stolen from us. It is what it is. But when he was there, you couldn't escape this guy. Even in 96, when Nas was doing what he was doing, it ain't like Big was in the crib sleep. You couldn't escape it.
cooking.
He was in the biggest beef in rap history at the time. He was doing the Junior Mafia thing at the time. Junior Mafia records was on fire. The little shots that you was hearing in the bars, people say Big wasn't battling Pac, but he was throwing some darts too.
Yeah.
Shit was going on. So, you know, I'm giving 96 to Biggie. Nas was doing what he was supposed to do, but Big was right there controlling the city. Number 1, if there was an internet on this level, he would have been the number 2 clickable item behind Tupac. At 96, I'm giving that to Big. As for number 3, this is where shit gets a little shaky. You know, there's an argument to be had for a lot of people at number 3. But I think 3 goes to 50 Cent. You know what I mean? 50 Cent was a phenomenon. Unbelievable. I'm in the school hallways hearing G-Unit.
Might have been me.
G-Unit wife beaters.
Terrible, but
Wangster. Remember that song Poorer the Richer? Couldn't escape it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this guy, when Wangster dropped, I tried to hate it. I really did. Rockefeller guy, fuck this 50 Cent guy, but this song is really good. Oh no, if I can do it. Oh shit.
Homie.
Oh no.
Can't be done.
Lloyd Banks got punchlines. Then you put it on the Clue tapes, and then Banks is on there. Yayo got the magnetic personality. It's like these guys are amazing. And then 50 he was really the entry to them Southern niggas, because he was that little drawl he had after he got shot, and then he was taking influence from the South and weaving it into the New York shit.
He was.
Fire. You couldn't touch him. You know what I'm saying? So I got 50 at number 3. And quite frankly, I don't have a 4th. I don't even know why Nas is even in this conversation. Nas was never the king of New York. He was never the king. 94.
So hold on.
you
I
get
get to the whole Wu-Tang.
Wait.
Oh shit.
So you don't tell me the guy
Finish him.
the guy, we could argue about Big, but you're gonna tell me that the guy that went and signed with Dr. Dre
What? Holy shit.
was
Yo,
a
press the
bigger
button.
king of New York
Yep.
than the guy that made You Look,
Yes.
and the guy that made
Yes.
New York State of Mind.
What does signing with Dre?
Are you kidding me?
What does signing with Dre have to do with being king of New York?
Right?
Yeah.
Who did
Why
Nas sign to?
Why you signing with the West Coast representative?
Hey, look. I don't even know why Nas is on this list.
This is what
That's the real
this
issue
is my
here.
point. This is what I'm saying.
What?
By the time it was like 98, 99, 2000 and on, dudes started realizing that they need to open themselves up to bigger markets. And they started, expanding to West Coast and the West Coast sound or the South sound or whatever. Like, it wasn't so much a King of New York thing anymore. So
Right.
it's like, I don't understand how in that era you even claim King of New York when
But he did, though. I feel like 50 said he was the king of New York. I run New York. And who pushed back when he dropped that record?
I could go at Nas and Jigga both for the throne. He said that on High all the time. Listen, man, Sin is
What was the
fighting
name
for
of
his
that-
life
what
over
was the
here.
name of that
It's
song?
clear that
I
50 was
run
a
New
bigger.
York.
Was a
I get
bigger-
money.
No, it was another joint. And it was a hard beat.
I Run New York. That was the diss to Joe and them. That
Yes.
was 50 and Yayo.
Mm-hmm.
But then, man, like,
cool,
listen,
where's he at now?
there's no where's
Trying to get
Jungle.
on Nas's out.
Where's Jungle and Wiz at right now,
To
man?
Dini's
What does
point.
that have to do about what happened at that time?
Dini made the point.
But what does that have to do with what happened right now? You talking about right now?
Ask Dini.
Dini gave him the vacancy championship.
Nah.
You watch the WWE when
Look,
the champion
look.
gets his neck broke
Hold
and they
up.
just decide to
This
give
is-
it to
this
a
is
guy. That's
sincere.
what
reaching for some shit.
Nah, I didn't.
Nas, you know what?
Damn it, Mase.
You know what, bro?
Like, hey, nobody else has it. Let's give it to Nas.
You want a wrestling analogy? I got one for you right now. Biggie Smalls, you could say, is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Here we go.
Hove is The Rock, pun intended. Nas was Mick Foley. He was a transitional champion that everybody loved. There's great lore.
The sock.
He fell through tables off the cage. He did what he needed to do for the culture. But he never had a long title reign. He was never a top draw. He was never truly a top guy. He never main evented WrestleMania. He was never that. But he has a really loud fan base. Fan base.
Made you look. Wasn't a
beast.
That wasn't a title.
It was a transitional run.
Getting Hove up out of there wasn't a title.
He did that on a B show. But when SummerSlam happened, we was back with The Rock. 7 straight summers, nigga. What you talking about?
Yo,
local celebrity rapper.
That was like one of those.
I don't even. Honestly,
Jadakiss
got a better claim to the throne than Nas.
Oh my God! This is really one of those Ken fiery Hadouken uppercut joints, bro. This is beastie. Nigga, John trying to get up.
John gotta fight Jada for the full fight.
You dodge the tomatoes, bro. Like
you gotta fight Cameron for that.
I'm sick of these guys. Job is special.
I'm saying, man. I never heard nobody
go. Wait. Where's the drop? Which one is it?
What the fuck is this guy talking about?
Hold on. Let me go find it.
Since taking over the boards, y'all.
I'm gonna hit him with this. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with it again.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Since on the boards.
I'm gonna hit him with that too.
Another early
Y'all
one.
said, why he even on the list, bro?
Get rid of this guy. What's that?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Shout out to
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I want to thank John for taking the tomatoes from me, bro.
The ultimate heel turn. You gotta love hip hop, man.
All right,
Mets hat is back.
Yo, fuck this guy, man.
Yo, Sin.
All right.
I'm sorry. We'll have to edit that out. YouTube is digging in our pockets. Apparently we curse too much.
Crying, bro.
Or whatever. YouTube, leave us alone, man.
Get your hands out my pocket,
I'm not gonna lie. I said all of that just to laugh like this right now.
Yo, this is classic,
Because
bro.
Mase fucked me up when he put his list out. So I'm like, nah, I gotta add some extra mustard on this shit. Mase fucked my whole list up.
Oh,
I don't
shit.
mean. Maybe like 75% of what I said is not true.
Damn.
Maybe 75%.
One life, one love. So
Yeah,
there
man.
can only be one king.
It was Jay-Z and Biggie.
So that's your official list, John? Nas fourth, or you recanting?
Nas is still fourth.
Shit.
He belongs on the list.
He definitely belongs on the list.
Jay might have cozied up next to Big because he didn't want to go at the dude.
That's his man.
He honestly, we're not breaking new ground. He was a Nas fan. Nas was too ignorant to appreciate a fan. It was his fault. This whole thing is his fault.
Tits firm like Nature Foxy Nas Nation.
All Jay-Z wanted was a feature, and Nas
That's
just
all
kept
he
fronting
wanted.
it. That's all he ever
That's all he
wanted.
wanted.
All he wanted was
hurt.
All this nigga ever wanted was a
man.
16, and
Man.
Nas was just like, he's just like, who is this guy? I'm not giving him a 16.
That's a fact. Who the
Oh,
fuck
man.
is he?
Shouts to Carmen.
Only for him.
And
Hov was
Nas
the
took 50 on his first tour, Nostradamus tour.
He did.
That's a fact.
Word.
He did.
But 50 wasn't looking at Nas when he wanted the throne. Yeah. He was looking at Sean Corey Carter, a.k.a. local celebrity rapper.
You named both of them.
He had to. Respect.
It's like me saying, yo, G Rap the real king of New York. He had Nas in the studio. You grasping for straws, son.
Jeez. Gee.
I don't see the equivalence.
Damn.
All right. So now, I forget this gentleman's name, but he dropped a video talking something that we mentioned about a year ago on New York Bias 2. By the way, New York Bias 3 coming real soon.
Classic
Catch up, y'all.
incoming.
Yes, sir.
And he complained about the fact that shout out to Demi D. He was on both episodes of New York Bias.
Shout out to Demi, man.
And we talked about when New Yorkers say some shit. If Walter's from New York and Sin is from like Alabama, and I say Walter's the better rapper, we're biased. But the minute the Southern person says Sin is the better rapper, they're fair and unbiased. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like it's time for us to revisit that, because since everybody's jumping New York, since the news is slow, they're saying Hov is a local celebrity rapper coined by. If you hear anybody else say that, you know where it came from first.
Yes,
we
sir.
started that. And New Yorkers are too biased. So since I got a lot to say about that. Actually, I'm gonna go first. I was gonna pass it to Sin, but I'm gonna get my feelings off. I'm really tired of platforms, not even people. People gonna people, period, right?
Facts.
But there's platforms, not according to hip hop, because y'all be telling. I'm not talking about them.
Y'all be fiending, man.
Although Mike D, you ducking the fade, bro. Coop came to the round table. I'm just saying, stop
Pull
ducking
up,
the fade.
nigga.
Put your hat on and pull up. All right. Anyway, there's other platforms.
Y'all going with the day, boy.
I am
Go time, nigga.
that are Southern based, that have built their following on talking about old school rap, where 90% of what they talk about as far as old golden era rap is New York rap. But then they have the temerity to fix their mouth to be like, oh, y'all just mad because New York don't have it right now. I'm tired of y'all niggas. Y'all here, y'all get y'all likes, y'all get y'all follows. Y'all YouTubes ain't doing so well. But y'all get y'all likes and your follows. But the first chance you get to shit on New York, you take it. But when I go through your timeline and I read your tweets, most of the time, your most favorited tweets is talking about some New York shit you wasn't even here for. Why the fuck you think we biased in the first place? Because the shit that you getting lit off of is the shit that we actually lived. But you're somewhere down south, not talking about shit that happened in your region, not shit that happened in Atlanta,
Right.
or Tennessee. There's a lot of legendary
Memphis,
shit in
yeah.
Tennessee, legendary
West
shit in
shit.
Atlanta, legendary shit in Florida,
Houston.
legendary shit in Houston. Thank you, Mase. New Orleans. Y'all don't talk about none of that shit. Y'all get y'all feelings off talking about New York, New York, New York, New York, New York. But the minute we got something to say, we biased. And y'all just mad y'all don't have it anymore. I'm tired of y'all. If that's how you feel about New York, I'm dropping the gauntlet right now. Stop using New York to get your clout off. Talk about your history in rap. There's a reason we're biased, because the shit that got you lit is the shit that made rap lit in the first place. And if it wasn't us, it was some boys out west.
That's a fact.
I'm tired of y'all. This is the gauntlet. Stop talking about New York rap if we're not allowed to be biased. We're not allowed to talk our shit. We're not allowed to celebrate our favorites. Leave our city alone. Don't use our shits for clicks. Don't talk about shit you didn't really experience. You seen third hand probably. The fuck out of here. That's all I gotta say. I'm sorry. Because I'm sick of it now. They use us.
And then
Clickable items, man.
And then
But we
the shit
biased.
The shit that makes it worse is that when we turn around, when they call us biased, and then we turn around and be like, nah, we fuck with certain South rappers throughout the years, like Scarface or Ludacris or T.I., and then they be like, oh, y'all only like them because they sound like New York.
So what?
Bro, so first of all, so what? We set the standard.
The fuck are you talking about?
The entire rap culture is gonna at one point or another sound like New York, because we set the standard. We drew together the blueprint. That's just what it's gonna be, right? But second, right? Do y'all want us to do y'all want us to give y'all props or not? Because we could take them back. We could just say we don't fuck with no Southern rappers, and then just have it be that.
I don't want peace. I want problems.
Let us give
always.
the props that we want to give, and not have you fucking look at the props that we give under this fucking microscope, like, oh, you like psychoanalyzing, like, oh, this is the only reason y'all giving props. No, the fuck out of here. Take the props or don't take the props.
Facts.
That's it.
I don't know if you guys want to
That was
add anything
a
to that.
chef. It's basically like this, y'all.
Cook, man.
It's like two good friends, you know what I'm saying? And one friend kind of created a movement. And the secondary friend says, you know what, I like this movement. And recreates their form of the movement, you know what I'm saying? But they're a little upset that homie A doesn't respect their movement the way, you know, they respect their movement, you know what I'm saying? And that's fucking fine, because no one's gonna respect your movement the way you respect your movement, bro. You know what I'm saying? What y'all do is what y'all do. What we do is what we do. We started it. New York, that's where this shit originates from. So we're gonna have a way about it. Like I'm saying, I'm sure Atlanta has a meal. I'm sure fucking every city has a meal that they specialize in. You know what I'm saying? And they maybe make that meal somewhere else, but you'll always feel like it just ain't as good as it is when they make it in your city. You know what I'm saying? The Chicago niggas with the pizza. You know what I'm saying? Y'all argue to death telling you New York City pizza is not as good as Chicago pizza. I'll beg to differ. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm a New Yorker. Fuck with what you fuck with. Love what you love.
Right.
But just remember where this shit started. So no matter what you talk about, it's always gonna come back to NY. Salute. Masito, talk, man.
Shit.
Nah, y'all wrapped it up pretty succinctly. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, bias is natural, so I never really get moved.
Apparently, it's a problem for us.
You know what I mean?
It's unnatural for New York. I don't know.
Right. It's a little weird that's the thing. But bias is natural. You know what I mean? You're always going to like what looks like you, what talks like you, what comes from where you comes from. You know what I mean? And Sin made the exact point. Like, it's weird that y'all say we only like Southern rappers that, come from New York, when y'all only like East Coast rappers that, Big Gip talked about the 50 thing. You know what I mean? And 50 was the rapper with the Southern drawl. DMX was a huge rapper. And even though DMX is a complex rapper, he wasn't the most complex rapper of the time. He was the easily digestible from other regions rapper from the East Coast. You know what I'm saying?
In
so
terms
it's
of
like
the lyrical dexterity of
exactly,
the delivery.
exactly. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah.
So it's understandable. But honestly, I understand, guys. I really understand. Fat people can't call, skinny people can't say, hey, you're fat. Fat guy can say, hey, you skinny bastard. You know what I mean? Old people can talk about, why it sucks that you're young. You call them an old motherfucker, you're going to look like the bad guy. I get it. When you're the clear winner here, you're the clear one in the favor, you got to just let up on the, the little homie. You know what I mean? So I understand, guys. I understand.
Yo, and
Talk, Mace.
Shout out, big talk for Mace. And it's like it was almost like a perfect setup for me. I'm gonna bring it home like this. You guys keep putting our commentary under a microscope. Shout out to Sam. All this shows is that you guys as a region, not all of y'all, but the loud voices in that region, y'all suffer from that little brother energy. Y'all want to be respected by Big Bro at all costs. To the point that you resent Big Bro for not giving you that respect that you've been looking for. And then that resentment turns into disrespect. Because now, I'm going to just say, fuck this guy. Or like, y'all not lit no more. Y'all just mad because y'all not lit no more. The only reason you're saying that is because we're not giving you the respect that you're looking for. Because you're a little bro. West Coast never had that problem.
At all.
West Coast is basically twin or cousin.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Couple years apart, but y'all, little bro, huh? And y'all gotta get out your feelings.
Out your feelings, man.
I don't want peace.
Little homie B.
I want problems always.
New York Bias 3 is on the way.
Get ready.
On the way.
Y'all keep talking how y'all talking. New York Bias 3 might be the loudest New York Bias out of all of them.
We might need extra chairs in here. Walt, you heard?
Word. You can't keep talking about us looking to build your business and then try to smack us down at the same time, bro. Little bro. Get your weight up on your own.
Please.
I'd rather hear you talk about Lil Baby some more. Talk about Future. Y'all don't talk about them guys, they legends. But y'all want to talk about Nas and Hove and Kiss.
Weirdo behavior.
Beans. Y'all go to Philly. Y'all talk about Joe Budden. Y'all talk about shit from the 80s. Well, I don't hear nothing about Outkast.
I really don't.
I don't hear nothing about Dungeon Family. I ain't never seen a Dungeon Family debate on Twitter.
Never.
Oof.
You know what I mean? Big Gip was never more lit than he was on a podcast.
Talking about Jay-Z.
Yo.
Crazy.
What we talking about?
Honestly, that's a fact.
Y'all see now, Walter, you saw a Dungeon Family debate on Twitter? Nah, right?
It's crazy. We talk more about that
Crazy.
Big Gip talking about Hov than we ever talked about any kind of Big Gip tunes, bro.
I ain't seen no Trick Daddy debates. I ain't heard no Miami rap debates. And again, I'm not dissing that city. I'm talking about the people on the internet who talk about New York rap and call us biased, but you don't even talk about the South.
You don't talk about where y'all from.
Yo, and I'm gonna make some people mad, but then not too long ago, I saw some heavy revisionist history on Twitter. They try to tell me Project Pat had a fucking classic.
What?
What?
And I was like,
Classic what?
since when? This is the first
Verse?
time in like 20 years that I heard about this.
Wow.
I
Verse,
gotta
right?
get the fuck out of here.
Verse.
No, the album. That first album.
Yo.
That they was mad. They was mad. It
man.
only got two and a half mics in the source. They was calling it classic.
Well, because that's New York, a.k.a. East Coast bias. We didn't get it,
Apparently.
you know.
They be blaming New York when it was two white guys from Massachusetts.
Chicken
Don't get it
heads.
twisted. I love
Fire.
me some Project
Fire.
Pat.
Come on.
Oh, Sin shitting, boy. Wow. Moving
Fuck
on.
outta here.
We have another topic on Twitter with East Coast rappers again. Heaven forbid, huh? Mobb Deep versus Outkast.
Yeah.
So then we did the lunch hour, and the comment section gonna do what it does. The chat gonna do what it does. And then I started seeing people talking about more specifically 3 Stacks and Prodigy. They identified the 2 heavyweights from each group. So the question I would have is, who's better between the 2 as rappers? Who's the better rapper, Andre 3000 or Prodigy? Do you need a balance? You're batting me off in this segment.
Man. All right, I'm gonna put it like this: being the heavy nigga out the team. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy.
I
need to see where this is going.
Right?
Analogy?
It's a food analogy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
More oxtail gravy?
No. You took that home, by the way. I'm gonna set something up different. It's
Steak
like
versus McDonald's?
It's steak is where I was going though.
Okay.
It's like 2 steaks, bro. One steak is from a 5-star Michelin restaurant, You got your glass of wine on the side. The napkins got little rings and shit on them.
Hell yeah.
Silverware. They basted your shit with the butter, the garlic, and the thyme, the little rosemary,
all that.
Little aromatics.
Right now,
you know what I'm saying? Your shit bussin', perfection, medium, however you like your shit. You know what I'm saying? To me, Prodigy is like a well-seasoned steak on the grill of like a bomb chef cookout.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's like it's a little char on it.
Yeah.
Might have a little teeny bit of burntness, but that burntness gave it that perfect crust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dry rub seasoning the shit overnight, so the shit is just busting good medium well. That's, to me, that is the difference between them 2 dudes. You get what I'm saying?
Sounds amazing.
Very talented, very amazing.
Now I'm hungry.
But when you have the choice, most of the time, you really want that cookout food, bro, because you can go, the 5-star Michelin restaurant is beautiful. It's an experience. But we was raised on that shit on the grill, bro. That's how I feel.
Good shit,
From the resident heavy nigga at the table.
That's crazy, bro.
Talk to me, my niggas.
I know he's gonna bring it back.
That's pretty much how I feel about it. I've been cooking Dre 3 Stacks for a while.
Yes,
Great MC. Not gonna take away from his talent.
Thank you.
But when I hear Prodigy, man, Prodigy shit to me was like poetic. You get what I'm saying? Like, how you talk, you have 2 types of niggas. You got the nigga that can explain shit to you and he'll need 100 words. And you got a nigga that can tell you in 10 words. And the same message goes across, bro. Just one nigga did it very succinctly and very smoothly. To me, that's Prodigy, man.
Okay.
Love Prodigy.
Wow.
R.I.P.P.
Wow. Not expected here, but I'm not mad at it.
Not bad at
Just hear the rap snob. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dean summed it up pretty well, pretty vividly.
hungry.
Yeah, and I look, I'm gonna concur, right? And I need to be very, very clear about this, right? Because I've been fighting for Dolo for 3 Stacks at this table
Something
for a very long
allegedly you don't
time.
Yes.
And getting jumped every single time.
That
right?
you do.
It'll be 3 Stacks or Kendrick. One of the
Fight
two.
back.
I'm getting jumped. But when it comes down to 3 Stacks of Prodigy, of course I'm gonna pick Prodigy.
Okay.
I'm from New York. I love Mobb Deep. That
What?
3-run
Interesting.
What?
Wow.
the infamous To Hell on Earth
That's
to Murder Music.
crazy.
Why is that crazy?
What?
Why is that crazy? I don't understand.
I didn't expect it either. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, I feel,
What?
Yo, I feel so bad. Look,
It's like, y'all don't know me.
I'm gonna digress real quick because at my day job,
What the fuck?
they asked this question like, would you rather be
Holy shit.
ignored or misunderstood, right?
Bro, you put the
And I
cape on
feel-
for 3 Stacks every time.
But it's never against Prodigy or Nas.
It kind of was against
Jeez.
Nas. You
No,
was
One time
I
against
said-
Nas, you said they were equal.
I said they should. I said 3 Stacks deserves to be
We
in the
can't make this
conversation.
shit up.
That's all I said. I didn't say he was better or equal.
Yeah, I said you think he's as good as
conversation.
Nas. You said yes.
Bro, you said
he deserves to be in the conversation. That's what I said. Those were my words. Walter, you're the engineer. If you could dig up one of those old quotes, that would be amazing.
Sin fought
what?
me on this,
That's
bro.
kind of threw me off a little bit.
Look again. The infamous,
The chat probably look like me right now.
the infamous To Hell on Earth to Murder Music. That 3 album run is very dear to my heart.
Absolutely.
Mention
Okay.
solo.
Um,
Absolutely.
Prodigy has one of my all-time favorite verses. The third verse on the title track, Hell on Earth. He went Super Saiyan on that, right? I'll be clear. As much as I love Royal Flush and 3 Stacks verse on that, there's nothing 3 Stacks has that, to me, comes close to what Prodigy did on that Hell on Earth third verse. But here's my thing. I need people to stop downplaying and shitting on 3000
Just say Dini.
and Outkast.
He's right there.
All together. No, because you was involved in it too. Don't act like you were not involved in it, bro.
Dini be shitting on a different level.
No,
Dini be shitting on a little.
My spatula's ready.
Dini hates that guy.
Different level. But,
Andre and Kendrick is Dini.
You were in that
existence.
shit fest
He's
too.
overrated. I said it.
You were in that shit fest too. And I need people to stop shitting on Andre 3000 just to prop up Prodigy. Or stop shitting on Outkast just to prop up Mobb Deep, right? Because if I go through Outkast catalog, there's so much Outkast music that I love. Players Ball, Southern Playalistic.
Roses really smell like
see, and that's the shit. Y'all real quick to reduce him to the Hey Ya and Roses singer.
Is it reducing?
It is. I mean, when it comes to
I'm gonna let you cook.
when it comes to the rap
the ladies.
conversation,
Yeah.
if y'all practice,
Nah, this is natural.
Nah, they just that good, Sid.
yo, fucking Tweedle being Tweedledum.
Yeah, now you can get the fuck out of here.
Anyway, y'all always reduce him to like
Fuck out of here.
the pop singer that made Hey Ya and was wearing blonde wigs, but y'all always ignore the 4 fire albums that Outkast put out before that, where 3 Stacks was cooking and Big Boy was cooking. Right. And I'll admit, like there's always a lot of attention put on 3 Stacks. Big Boy is a lot of times left out of the conversation. It's not fair at all, right? And shouts to Beats, Rhymes, and List, who always includes Andre and Big Boy together. That's what should be done, right? But yeah, man, I just made an Outkast playlist. That shit is so fire. There's so much fire music. ATLians, 2 Dope Boys, Return of the G, Spodioti, Bombs Over Baghdad, Gangsta Shit, Slum Beautiful. The list goes on and on. So all I'm saying is Outkast is amazing. Just because I prefer Mobb Deep and Prodigy doesn't mean that Outkast is whack. And I need y'all to stop doing that out there, because I saw a lot of that in the chat, in the comments. And I need y'all to stop doing that at this table as well.
Sincere the politician.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good
man.
day.
Shit. Andre 3K and Prodigy. I want to point out that way once upon a time, in the Easy reaction video, I made this comparison. And y'all cursed me out in the comments like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I made this comparison way back at the end of 2021, guys. Go ahead and check it, because a lot of y'all wasn't peeping yet. So go fuck with that. But I did make this comparison once upon a time. You know, back when I mentioned Andre 3K and his load management bars. You know what I mean? I will say this.
Slanderous.
Andre 3K is the more revered MC.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He was smart enough to step off before he fell off, right? Prodigy rapped through getting smacked in beefs. You know what I mean? Getting robbed and jacked. You know what I'm saying? Falling off,
bro.
losing his voice. It happened, Sin. We was here, bro. Like, it happened.
It's a part of
Before he passed, we used to talk about this shit. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to also give him the grace for that, right? Because Andre was kind of scared to, you know, he even said himself, like,
that's
you know,
another
this
narrative
a young man's sport.
I don't appreciate.
Sin, you was cooking, man. Let me get it.
But what makes
know,
you think he was scared?
Sin had a whole little blog post in the middle of this episode for 3 Stacks. We're gonna let this
You know what I mean? So Prodigy, you know, he rapped through all of that, and Andre didn't. You know what I mean? So of course Prodigy's gonna look worse. We seen Prodigy looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like we seen him on the Summer Jam screen. Literally, he is the Summer Jam screen, guys. So, we have to, think about that when we're thinking about both of them. You know what I mean? Of course, it's like the Biggie and Pac argument. We never saw them fall off. You know what I'm saying? So when we comparing them to Jay and Nas, it's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? If Nas would have died after It Was Written, if Hov would have died after, Hard Knock Life, we might be looking at shit different. So that's true. When I think about Prodigy and 3K, I think about that aspect of it. On a person, or I think that Andre at his best and Prodigy at his best, two top tier, like the highest tier of MC. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not, both of them are, just send mention hell on earth, bro. Like, Jesus Christ, the display of MCing on that. I'm a Pac fan, but listen, what he did to Pac on there even, bro. Like, come on. Like, this is Prodigy we talking about. So we talking about, when we talk about a personal preference, when we talk about just personal favorites, Prodigy's in my top 5 favorite MCs. You know what I'm saying? But when I judge greatest, I look at the whole scope. And Andre is looked at as the greater MC. He's as good as Prodigy on a technical level. And when we talk about, influence, it depends on where you at. If you in New York, you might feel like Prodigy's the bigger influence. But Kanye and Kendrick and Drake and all these superstars have said Andre 3000 is my favorite MC or one of my biggest influences. So I have to give him that credit. And when I look at a greatest thing, I have to take my personal bias out of it, and I have to say Andre 3K is better.
Okay, fair play. Fair play.
See, if I would have said all that, it would have been a whole different energy at the table.
Honestly, you got the energy you got because you picked Prodigy. You know what I mean? We came in expecting you to pick 3 stacks.
Okay.
But all right, so I have a question for the table. You guys covered everything. I don't have too much to say. But my question for the table and for the chat: when would you identify when Andre 3000 became, air quote, popular, crossover, superstar? In conversations.
I remember Eminem putting him in the top 5 on Till I Collapse. That was the first time I really ever heard Andre and Big Boy separated. I'm a little younger than you guys, so y'all might have heard it first, but from niggas that was listening to rap when I was fucking with it, I remember that. I remember just him seeming like the different guy when the double album dropped. And then when he started those guest verse appearances. So that 03 through 07, it seemed like his stock just shot way up. You know what I mean?
What do you say, Dini?
I'd say it's somewhere around Quemini and Stankonia. That's when them hits were just going too crazy. Niggas is selling 5 million albums type shit. You know what I'm saying? Grammy Awards, like 4 or 5 Grammys type shit. Right. Around that time is when they took off.
What do you say, Sam?
I think for me personally, I don't know what the general consensus is, but for me personally, what started separating Andre from Big Boy to me was that Big Boy pretty much stuck to his standard flow, and it was a dope flow, and lyrically he was top notch, but he pretty much stuck to that that one thing that he was
usual sound,
right? And then, but around Quemini, I started hearing songs like Return of the G, and Andre's unorthodox flow on that was just like, oh, he's doing something different. He's not doing what Big Boy was doing. He's not doing what he was doing on ATLians or Southern Playalistic. Like, he's really trying to expand his skill set. And then Bombs Over Baghdad, and then all, which was, the next album, Stankonia, and then all the feature verses. But to me, it was Aquemini. Aquemini is when I started noticing, Andre's trying to really, take it to another level.
Separate himself.
Right, and separate himself lyrically.
Sidebar, that playlist you made, throw that in the group chat, please. So now I heard these answers, and I asked this question because Sin gets mad every time we reference, pop star 3 stacks. The fact of the matter is this: yes, in rap we identified 3K was something else around those times. Southern Playalistic, Cadillac Music, Aquemini, etc. I would say around the time Rosa Parks dropped, that was when the white people started really paying attention. Sorry, Walter. That's when they started to pay attention. Like, oh shit, these guys over here got some shit. You know what I mean? But Andre 3000 completely separated himself from the pack and made himself the star of the group when he put on that blonde wig. I'm sorry, son. It is what it is. Argue your fucking dog when you go home. Talk to him. Don't talk to me. All right? When that album dropped, and they dropped 2 solos, shout out to Marty. That was where people started looking at him as something else. The biggest records from that double CD were the 3 Stacks Popish singles. That was the great separator. Maybe there was an identification that, much like Prodigy and Havoc, that, you know, P was nicer than Havoc. We kind of understood in the group that Andre was probably nicer than Big Boy. Mm-hmm. But the great separation happened with that album. That was when they became something else. That's when he became the star of the group. Ain't nobody come to see Otis. Ain't nobody come to see Big Boy. Right? Then the feature run happened. So to me, I always go back to that point because that's when I looked at it and I said, this nigga made this pop-ass CD and everyone loves it. And now all of a sudden I blink twice, he does 2 features and he's the GOAT. He's in GOAT conversations. And I resent that shit. I don't think I'm never gonna not resent that.
Talk about it.
Because it's like I woke up one day and listened to a morning show and niggas were saying he's in GOAT conversations. It's like he doesn't have a solo. And that was my problem. It's like, we know what he could do in the group. It's just like Shaq and Kobe, right? Kobe was his verified. Kobe didn't get his blue check until he got that first chip without Shaq.
09.
Prodigy veered away. He went and he got his blue check. Andre never did that. You could feature verse me to death. That just means you went to All-Star games. You went to the Rucker. You balled out. You did what we know you could do. But did you ever put a team on your back? Did you take on the full load? Pause.
All right.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Because you got your shit off. Prodigy did everything that you would want a nigga to do. He did the group shit. He ventured off. He gave you at least one fire album, which was his debut solo. I think it kind of went off a cliff after the debut solo. But that first one, fire. Legendary. 3 Stacks don't have that. 3 Stacks is more dynamic. 3 Stacks, to me, is kind of like Vince Carter. Like, that man, something else.
In the air, crazy.
In the wild dunks.
That shit.
But did V Carter ever carry that team to a championship?
No wins.
What is V Carter?
At least give him Allen Iverson. At least.
I just wanted somebody who had hops. I'm sorry.
Some air highlights, B.
You know what I mean? But you can say AI.
Some aerial highlights.
He's had his AI run. But if you think who's better, I'm saying a lot. It's a lot of word salad. Shout out to Coop. I think 3 Stacks is nicer than Prodigy.
Technically, yeah.
I think if they did a feature together in their primes, 3 Stacks is out rapping Prodigy. But it depends on the song. If Alchemist is doing that beat or Hav is doing the beat, P in his promise to get him out of here.
Okay.
But to me, that's the dexterity, that's the separator. I think that Andre can handle himself on one of those beats. Yeah. But if you take Prodigy down south to the dungeon, what is it gonna sound like?
Might not be able to.
What is it? Right. What is it gonna sound like?
Not the same kind of versatility.
Right. Parks would have sounded weird as fuck.
Exactly. So I just
Raekwon flex on those.
He went heavy on
Raekwon is all time. He's something else. He's something else.
Chef,
you know what I mean?
Man.
So I think that 3 Stacks is better, but I just don't want Sin running away with this whole idea that we're wrong for looking at 3 Stacks sideways for putting on that wig, because that wig is what kind of helped his greatness. His position in the space is helped by that fucking wig.
It's the chicken or the egg for me.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's
because
clear.
It's like you're saying that the wig happened first and then the esteem happened later. And
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that his...
That's not what you're saying?
No, his superstar acclaim happened after the wig. Hip-hop knew 3 Stacks was ill. He was already that.
So like Tyler, the Creator, essentially.
Right. Everybody else knew what it was after the wig. Because then the white people started to talk about 3 Stacks a little bit differently. Because to me, that's when the conversation gets blurry. When it's us, it's a pecking order.
Look, but we as a culture and as a people don't like the quirky shit. We don't. We look at it sideways.
There you go.
Why are you being a weirdo?
But if the music is really good behind it, we would kind of allow it.
Nah.
If this nigga didn't put on a fucking wig and say, "Hey y'all," if he gave us a classic rap album,
hip hop.
Roses was huge too.
If it's rock,
Caroline,
if it's R&B, like it's different. But in hip hop, is not the same in hip hop.
I don't like it in hip hop.
Like, why don't we look at him like we looked at Prince?
Because he's a rapper.
Exactly.
Okay.
He's
exactly, and that's not entirely fair.
You know what's funny? Nah, you know what's funny? I'm gonna call it what it is here at the table. Because Sid want to tap dance. I don't feel like tap dancing.
I'm not tap dancing.
A whole lot of Ava MFs would have did what 3 Sacks did. They would have called him a sellout.
That's true.
He ducked
much
that.
worse than that in the
he
late
beat
90s.
charges.
because I think it came
probably.
across that it was a natural transition for him.
How?
Erica
I don't know because
Erica
of who he
Badu
is.
has
Look at him
powers,
now.
bro.
He's just a
Now he's
wanderer in the
he's rapping
streets.
again. I don't know.
He's
I don't know
a
what you mean.
wanderer in the streets with a fucking wooden flute and overalls. Like
Pause.
that's just who he is,
You
bro.
right. You right. Wooden
He's
flute
a
is
different. He's an
crazy.
eclectic dude.
Something about that sounds sus.
Yeah.
Yo, we got.
There was a pause in there somewhere,
Yo,
bro.
somewhere.
Yo, if we look
you
for
look
it,
hard enough, you'll find it, man.
Sorry. And for y'all on Twitter crying about us saying pause, fuck out of here. We gonna say it.
it's going
Fuck
down like
outta here.
Nino Brown. Get
Y'all
over
know
it.
when subs on Twitter talk about
Pause.
if you say pause, you can't have a tangent conversation. Yes, we can, and we're gonna say pause too. So
Plenty
what?
it's still
Anyway.
pause.
Anyway, I got another question. We gotta move on because we could talk about this for hours.
Yeah, that's one of our bags right there.
You know, Charlamagne was on the radio. Not Charlamagne. I'm sorry. Ebro was on the radio saying that. You know, I'm sorry.
The fact that you mixed those.
They're the same person to me. They're the same person. They're not from New York. They have too big of a voice when it comes to New York shit, and it bothers me.
Wait, where's Ebro from?
From Oakland.
Oakland, man.
Cali,
Yeah.
South Carolina.
That's
You know what I mean?
So,
and they
Same
Charlamagne.
lineage as Drake, and he's from Oakland.
You know what I
Let's
mean?
just put it like that.
Got it. Ebro Darden. You know what I mean? And I feel like they just have too much of a say in shit, and it bothers me. But he said that record labels, you know, getting hyped about signing artists, they just start looking around at the rap landscape because albums are not moving how they should be moving considering the space. So the question I have for the chat, the question I have for the rap roundtable: are rap albums losing viability on the commercial level? So say the rap style. What do you think?
The short answer is yes.
Okay.
My reasoning for that, I think the landscape is too oversaturated. I think for the first time we're actually like moving into a generation that was brought up on streaming, and I think that makes a huge difference. Like you look at the most recent old guard that's, you know, kind of at this point or in the very near future aging out. You know, Drake, Kendrick, Cole, Nicki. You know, they were brought up on a different era. Mixtapes, physical CDs, you know, moving shit out the trunk. Even the blog era was different. But now, these young kids coming in, all they know is streaming, right? And so like, because they were brought up on it, there's just so many of them. It's just
Right.
like shit. I could whip up a song in Logic or in Ableton or FL Studio, you know, mix it up real quick and just shoot it out into the internet, and it's just too many of them. And then the other side of that is that with that, I mean, there's a much larger conversation to be had about, like, you know, how effective labels are or have been in this era, but like at the very least, when you have a label budget, you have a budget for producers, big name producers, not even the big name, but like, you know,
Notable.
skilled producers, very skilled producers. You have a budget for, you know, studios with top of the line equipment. You have a budget for engineers that will make your shit sound as pristine as possible. That's just not happening. You know what I mean? And so like all of that mixed together is leading to an oversaturated market that where the quality of the music just isn't as good. And it's you know, we see that in the numbers.
Okay. Real thoughtful response from Sandini. Talk to me.
Saturated is a good word to explain it. We're from the era where people took time to cook up. I mean, maybe We were lucky when we had like the 2 Hoes in the year type shit, or the two Nas in the year, 2 X's in the year, you know, that type of shit. But for the most part, like people could drop a song like every other week now, you know, and to keep you kind of like locked in, so it doesn't hit as hard, pause, as it used to. You know, like we used to really look forward to music. Wait 6, 8 months, year, 2 years, 3 years. Like Nas was doing shit like every 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's the consistency was different. When you're so used to something pulling up every time, you don't really have the same ache and need for it. You don't feel like you can, like when album dropped back when we were young, like we listened that night, that day. You get what I'm saying? Today you can wait a week, 2 weeks to catch up on an album because it's just gonna be there for you.
4 or 5 other albums that came out too.
The same day, so it's different. Like even when we had albums drop, they dropped like it was like 1 or 2 prime artists that dropped on the same day. Now you might have like 7 people drop an album on the same day. It's just a different operating system that everything's moving on nowadays.
I respect that. Mase, talk to me.
I had a good like second to think about this question when it popped up in our topic section. I thought about it, and hearing you guys' opinion makes me kind of even like have a more 360 view of it. But honestly, when I look at it as, out of touch radio host on an out of touch medium, not knowing what's going on. You know what I mean? Because ultimately the numbers say that after pop music, hip hop music is the most popular music. And I understand because Ebro comes from a certain time, so maybe he's looking for that Jay-Z, that 50 Cent, that Lil Wayne-like figure.
The monster.
It's funny that you said that because he mentioned on our air that there's no superstars. So you saying that is kind of
There we go. So that's what he's looking for. But just like you say, the market is oversaturated, but that doesn't mean business ain't booming. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the numbers say that hip hop is more lucrative than ever. If it's not all going in one specific place, that's by design. You know what I mean? The record labels want it to be that way. So ultimately, the numbers, honestly, Ruth Chris is better than McDonald's. But, if them billions is getting made, it is what it is. So ultimately, I feel like Ebro's just a little bit out of touch. And he isn't looking at it in a full scope because the business of hip hop is as strong as ever. You know what I mean? So ultimately, I think that he's wrong about that, and that maybe if you're looking at it on a quality level, which we've never looked at it at, from a business perspective, that he may be right. But honestly, hip hop stronger than it's ever been, numbers wise.
All right. So let me ask you guys a question. You would say, for a while, the conversation was hip-hop is the #1 genre, right? So that means, the thing that we grew up on, it's not that. It's pop music, right? What is a staple of pop music? Pop artists do what? They put out singles. Most pop artists, we don't talk about their albums. Every now and again, there is an album that shines. You might have a Thriller. You might have a Confessions. You might have whatever Taylor Swift is doing. I'm not tapped into Taylor Swift. I don't know what she's doing.
Harry Styles is
There you go. There you go. Harry Styles marinated because I was hearing his name a lot before the album.
Yeah. And everybody was mad about that.
You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
Yeah. You look at that category, he had no business winning that shit. No disrespect, Mr. Styles. But a staple of pop records are singles. And to me, because rap is a pop genre, Ebro talking about albums kind of speaks to how out of touch he is as far as where he's at in the space, his age, no disrespect, no ageism. But back in our day, the album was a thing, especially for rap. But in these new kids' eras, especially with TikTok and everything, it's not about albums. It's about what your record is doing. You think Ice Spice is going to give you a 5-mic album? Nah. Ice Spice is going to give you a single that's going to be unavoidable. That She in Her Mood, it's everywhere. It's on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. How much girls drop a selfie and say she in her mood? She with her baddie friends.
That's a fact.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I've seen that a lot as it is. The single has replaced the album in rap. So, yes, albums are losing viability. And you think about the way albums are packaged, a lot of albums just feel like mixtapes to me. Because they're not, there's no big rollout. There's no big billboards. There's no big single, or there's no street single than the big single that leads to the album releasing. They just drop the fucking album to give you a date. But the big acts give you like 21 Savage and Drake felt like an old school release because they had singles. Yeah. There was a rollout. They controlled radio. Then there was 2 and 3 other records after that. At one point, I think Her Loss had like 4 records spinning on morning radio. So it's like the singles have replaced the album. So yeah, I think albums have lost viability. But on the flip side of that, the guys who are putting out these albums and they're not putting out singles are giving you some fire. If you go, we talked about, I think one of our last recordings, if you go and when we talking about B-Dot stupid ass, you know what I mean? When you, if you go and you look for the shit, it's there. Like I always talk about Sin and Griselda. I'm thankful Sin told me about Griselda. I didn't know these niggas was there. And once Sin put niggas on, the fact that this high tier quality rap, well curated rap is there, nigga, we blessed. We have that. They made everybody else push their pen. You know what I mean? So I'll take the air quote niche projects that are great bodies of work, but then I'll still appreciate the singles because record labels are signing. They're gonna sign Masito because he's gonna get a big deal because he's gonna have a big single. The single's gonna do billions of streams and they'll make their money back. Mm-hmm. That's where it's at. Moneybagg Yo's not giving you a classic. He's gonna give you a big record. Lil Baby got a joint right now. Even though the album didn't do what we thought it was gonna do, this is that joint.
That Breeze, that California Breeze,
right?
Shit
It's going crazy.
Going crazy from.
I'm at work today.
I hate that song.
All these little 12-year-olds know the words to that Lil Baby single. So I hate that happened to rap because we like what we like, but business is booming.
And to be fair, things are cyclical. Mm-hmm. And there was a time back in like the 60s into the 70s where like the big, well, maybe the 50s to the 60s, the big thing was the single, the 45, right? And a lot of these older heads, maybe not Ebro, but I know for sure Rosenberg up on High 97, he talks about like his 45 collection all the time. Like that was a huge thing once upon a time where it was the singles, it was the little 45 disc with the huge hole in the middle. And you have to put the little plastic thing in. And yeah, man, that happened once upon a time. And maybe we're going back to that. I'm not entirely happy about it because I love albums. I love full body of work, but it's possible, we might be just going into a new era.
There it is. Yeah. And usually the last person to realize the new era is taking place is the oldest person in the room. It's just, I've been there, Sin been there, Dina been there. Maybe not Mase, you ain't there yet. But we've been late to the party. By the time we realized what was going on, it already happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real quick, this is not a long segment. This is for the chat. This is chime and throw it in the chat, throw it in the comment section. Just real quick, not who you anticipate an album from like on a big level, but just like a favorite or somebody rock with. Who do you need an album from in 2023? I'll go first, get it out the way. Not Hove, not local celebrity rapper. Personally, I need a new Schoolboy Q album. I need that. I need that LA feel. I need that Crip talk. I need that gangster father rap because he's a dad. He got his daughter. He'll still beat you the fuck up, Big Hoover. I need that shit. I need a Schoolboy Q album. Sin, talk to me.
Shit.
Who you got, Sin?
You know what? I honestly didn't give this much thought. Come back to me.
All right, Dina.
Think about it.
I could.
I'm being consistent, man. Stove God.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's time. Since 2019, it's time, man. It's been 4 years. You've been bodying everything you've been touching, man. It's time.
Talk to me, Mase.
I need that Quavo and Offset reunion album.
Family time.
I'm ready.
Wow.
Ready for that.
I like that.
Quick aside, I need Quavo and this guy, Huncho to get back together. Travis Scott. I need Huncho Jack too. Go ahead, Sin.
All right, I thought about it. I need the Benny Def Jam to drop. Need that.
Is that the new Detox?
You got that third, right? What?
Is that the new Detox?
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It has to happen.
Yeah. I don't want to put that energy.
I'm not doing that to deep.
One shot.
That Benny Drake. It needs to happen.
No,
Benny.
I'm not even trying to be funny. Is Benny signed to Def Jam?
I don't even know at this point.
I don't know.
We seen him sign
I'm
the
about
paperwork.
to go to the website. They'll say it on the website.
The roster.
Yeah, I'm about to go search.
Can somebody
man.
tell me in the chat?
I need that.
Kodak Black ain't on
I need
that Atlantic
Benny's skill
website
set
no
with
more.
with that machine behind him
Yeah.
and that budget behind
He
him.
got to make the music though.
You got an honorable mention?
Nah.
No honorable mention?
I want to say this. I
was gonna say Stove God, but you just
Stove God was his honorable mention. I want to say this. we all were being coy with this answer because local celebrity rapper is the clear answer. Okay. Y'all gonna be mad about it.
I'm good.
It's the clear answer. We all dying on that next local celebrity rapper album.
Don't speak for me, bro.
You gonna be listening at 12:01.
First one listening.
At 12:01.
But I'm not clamoring for it.
You are.
Nah, not really. I'll take a fifth Nas Hit Boy album before I take another.
I got a question for the chat.
Sin is raining in the chat right now. They are throwing
like, talk about it, Sin.
They wilding out.
After 444, nah.
He stuck his chest out with that one.
I will never be a fan of that.
But the J-Elect album happened after 444.
And he was in rare form.
I got a question for the chat. The homie Khalil on Twitter said, was it Khalil or was it Tone? I think it was Tony the Dome. It was Tony the Dome. He was saying that Hov should drop and maybe consider having Hit Boy produce an album. So I just have a question for the chat. How would y'all feel if local celebrity rapper did an album fully produced by Hit Boy?
I'm sure they're loving that,
up, bro.
That's what he said. I didn't say it.
They're loving that.
I promise you.
You didn't need to say it on the mic, bro.
I did though. I did. Chat, how would you feel if that happened? You know what would happen though? That would get more notoriety than the whole Nas Hit Boy era if Hov and Hit Boy did it.
Yo, press the hey! That's beast.
Yo, what's that shit that happens all the time? Like, it's almost like a meme where it's like the robot is like, cannot compute, and then they just start jittering, and then the shit blows up.
Can't download.
That's gonna be the people in the chat.
Yo, they're gonna be pissed. I know they hate me this episode, but I don't care. Y'all shoot at me all the time.
Bow.
Then y'all get emotional when I shoot back. I told y'all there's cases all 2023. Y'all not safe. Keep it coming, pause, and I'm gonna shoot back. Anyway, pause again. Hey,
KD3 doing it.
So, big release in hip hop. The first big release of the year, I'd say. Did anybody notable drop this year? I don't want to speak out of turn. I feel like I might be forgetting.
Well, it was the Roman Big Ghost.
I'm talking about like big. Like Roman's a big deal, but he ain't there yet.
I know you're talking about. I got you.
I won't say
Roman's overground, but like semi-commercial.
All of our heavy hitters dropped last year.
Yeah.
So this album, let me get the title right. Larry June and Alchemist, The Great Escape. I would say this is the first major release of the year. I want to make sure I speak clearly because anytime Rome drops is a big deal. Where Rome is signed to Griselda, but this is an Empire. This is a major label release. Mm-hmm. So, Sincere, you are the guy who has sanctioned Larry June at the Rap Roundtable.
Yes,
so we need you to give us your, not a full breakdown because we could do that at a later date, but just lightly tell us if you liked the album, what you thought about it, etc.
It's cool.
What?
It's cool.
Get the fuck out of here.
I didn't expect that.
I'm shocked, Sin.
Yeah, I know y'all shocked. I'm shocked too. I really, again, going into this, the announcement of this project, I was really excited. But then I heard that like the first two joints they put out there, I guess singles, and I wasn't too excited about those. Then the joint with Big Sean dropped. That was my shit, and that got me excited. And then they dropped another one. I forget the name of it. Palisade. No, Palisade is with Big Sean. Then they dropped Porsches in Spanish.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And they even have a video for it that's kind of fly. And I like that joint. It was like a soulful loop. And I was like, all right, so we're kind of like 50-50 with these. And even like the other joints started kind of growing on me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I threw on the project today, and I honestly have to say I was underwhelmed. And I really don't want to say that because I really like Larry June and I love Alchemist. But there's no drums on this album to be found anywhere. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'm okay with that, but I'm okay with that when you have an artist or rapper like Freddie Gibbs, because there wasn't too much drum work on Alfredo, but Freddie Gibbs, the way he freaked those beats was just like next level, right? So I love Alfredo. The next project that Alchemist released was with Rock Marcy. I love that album. This one doesn't really live up to those last two projects, so I'm gonna just give it it was cool, not my favorite.
Oh, wow. Mase, were you able to check in?
Yeah, I did tap in.
Wow.
I did tap in.
Shout out to Mase. I was expecting to know. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you know, I've been flaking the last few.
Not even that. I know this
ain't
ain't your cup of tea.
Right. And you know, when we don't do our morning reviews, I kind of sneak my way out of listening to the album. You know what I mean? But I decided to listen to this one. We spoke. I remember speaking about Larry June in an old young rap segment.
You did.
And you know, Sin is a big fan, and y'all know Sin is the mayor, so we always, you know, have some reverence for shit that he like. We always going to.
Not me.
Okay. You and Sin have a different type of relationship, y'all. But when Sin throws some shit in there, I'm gonna check it out. You know what I mean? So you know, Larry June. Listen, man, I'm gonna be honest. You know, this guy is boring. He's not like he's not charismatic. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have like a super technical amount of skills, so he can't lean on that on some Eminem shit. Like, well, he's mad nice. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? I wasn't blown away. Alchemist is Alchemist, bro. Like, top 10 GOAT easily, probably close to the top 5, you know what I mean? But it's like, this would have been better as an instrumental album to me, you know? And honestly, it brings me to like I feel like, you know, as a person who, you know, often gets told that they listen to bad rap, especially by y'all in the chat, like, when I hear, you know, like, this is not like Benny the Butcher or Conway, where it's a classically skilled, great MC. You know, it's like, I'm gonna be honest, like, if this wasn't over Boom Bap, y'all would be calling Larry, if this was over Metro Boomin, y'all would be saying Larry June is whack. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest, and I feel like y'all get confused by the type of music niggas make and the type of beats niggas get, because I feel the same way, and I'm fan, not of this nigga, Larry June, but I'm a fan of Boldy James. I'm a fan of Stove God, but I'm gonna be honest, if they was over trap beats, y'all would say y'all don't fuck with them. You know what I mean? It's really the shit that they rap over that y'all really be fucking with a lot of the time. You know what I mean? Because it's not like they on some super dexterous, having mad dexterity in their lyrics. You know what I mean? They make, you know, hot shit. They make, you know, they make catchy shit. You know what I mean? They make shit that you make that's memorable, but not no super nice shit. And Larry June is like the biggest, you know, example of that to me. Like, I'm like, yo, if this nigga wasn't rhyming over Alchemist, most of y'all niggas would not even fuck with this nigga, bro. Let's be honest. So I'm like, I tried it and I wasn't a fan, guys.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
I had to do it, man.
I actually really liked it.
Wow.
Like, I'm
crazy.
Shocked. I'm shocked as far as right now. I'm the only one.
Wow, bro. That's crazy.
I'm really lost that I'm the only one that like this. We all know Alchemist production is it'll capture a moment. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
love these beats. That's it,
bro. Like, I mean, I do. I love the production on the album.
If I could just squeeze in real quick, to me, it's some of Alchemist's least interesting production. Like
for a less interesting MC.
But that was my issue.
We can't make this shit up.
That was my issue. I think Alchemist pulled back on the production aspect to fit Larry June's
style. All right, so you can't give those Nas S type beats to every artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously everyone can't.
I get that.
But it was more the simplicity. You know what it is, bro? I'm at the point in life. Maybe I'm old. I'm at the point in life where.
I mean, we're all there.
We're actually I don't need you to be the most lyrical nigga on the record anymore. I just need you to sonically give me something I can take away with. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And this is the Weed Smokers album, bro. This shit is perfectly melodic, perfectly mellow. You know what I'm saying? Luxury talk vibes with everything. Everything is Porsches and 5-star restaurant type shit, which is
Khalifa shit, right?
It's fly lifestyle shit. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
Fly lifestyle bars. But I thought it was dope. And it's crazy because everyone who was a feature, like, out-rapped him, but the mellowness of the sonics that he gave with the vocals, he has a good rap voice, you know what I'm saying? All that shit combined made everything just really smooth. It's a smooth album. I think it was 46 minutes. I listened to the whole thing straight through. I hit me and Jay. Don't judge me. You know what I'm saying? And the shit
that might have been it.
And possible. And the shit flowed very smooth. I was I'm gonna tell you right now, track 1 through 4, I was like, wow, this is some smooth, real kickback shit. The shit with Slum Village was dope. Shit with Boldy was dope. The shit with the shit with Wiz Khalifa, I didn't really like Wiz Khalifa's verse. But other than that, I thought the shit with Jay Worthy, Exito was dope. 60 Days, even the joints I didn't really dig initially grew on me, kind of like the way they did with the Freddie Gibbs album. Bargain Lightning with Joey Badass and Currency, like this shit has some joints, bro. Like if you want an album you could like really like listen to when the party is not, bro. This is like some Rock Nation brunch type music where you still can listen to some good music and still have a conversation with the nigga in front of you. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that with Pop Smoke type shit. Certain music gonna take you into a different kind of vibe. This is very mellow.
Good music. Right?
You can, damn it. It's very mellow.
It is very mellow.
It's very laid back. If you are laid back, if you like Boldy, it'll be in that kind of realm. You know what I'm saying?
It's more mellow than Boldy. And
it's way more mellow than Boldy.
And I think
Boldy's
that's my
mellow.
thing. Like my threshold for mellow is Boldy James. If you're more mellow than Boldy James,
too mellow.
The rap snob and the black snob have once again united.
Fusion high.
All right, so here's what I'll say. I'm more in line with Dini.
Oh shit! No, don't press it, bro. Press it, please.
What?
Holy shit! This is necessary. Because you cooked him last time.
They plotting on you,
doing this on purpose.
Yo, reverse heel job. Talk about it.
Whatever the fuck I say.
No,
that's what it is.
No,
talk about it.
That's absolutely what it is.
You ain't agree with me all day.
No,
nigga.
bro, that's why you go last, bro.
Nah,
you just want to say the opposite of what I said.
No. I promise. I promise y'all. I was in the car. True story.
Talk about it, John.
I got in the car with every intention of fucking hating this album, abusing the skip button. And it's like, I from the intro, and the intro was the best he rapped on the whole album, to be clear. And I'm like, this ain't so bad. Then the next song happened, I'm like, this ain't so bad. Then I got to the next track, and it's like,
but the second one was Ignite Earthquake. You cooked that.
This ain't so bad. And then they got to the next track, and I'm like, this is kind of alright. But then at a certain point, Sincere said what he said about Alchemist production, and I'm like, Alchemist gave this nigga some fire ass beats. And I'm sitting here and I'm like,
loops his head.
I'm like, I don't really like this guy. But then I got to thinking, I started listening to the subject matter. I really started to listen. It's a lot of this luxury rap.
A lot of leveling up.
Fly lifestyle. He said he was broke in 2017. I was listening. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I got to thinking and I said, he reminds me of a certain someone on the East Coast.
Who's that?
A little closer to Toronto. From Buffalo. And I said, if I grade this nigga on the West Side Gun scale, why am I mad at this guy?
Talk about it.
Interesting.
These guys rap about the same shit. Now, one guy might rap about some jail shit, some coke shit, West Side. But West Side is the blueprint for fly lifestyle rap
luxury
right
shit.
now.
Yeah.
Unorthodox. Great looped up beats, drumless samples.
Talk about it, y'all.
I said, then I started imagining hearing the same Larry June bars with the West Side Gun's voice. And I'm like, it's the same shit.
That's a lot of work you have to do. To enjoy
all
this
I'm saying,
album,
all I'm saying is that
it's something to think about.
Sin
tried it.
I'm laughing at Mace's reaction.
Sin tried it.
I'm laughing at Mace's
reaction. What I'm
saying is,
right though.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. But what I'm saying is that if I'm not going into this album for super dope lyrical schmirical shit, and I'm going in for what he delivers, much like West Side, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. And that's how I felt about this project. I get it now. He's not someone I would rush. He got outdone by every one of his features on this album. I'm keeping it 100. But the aesthetics, like you nailed it, Deanie. Like, not even just the Rock Nation brunch. Any kickback. You're not trying to scare the hoes, right? You got some girls around. You got a nice piece of property with some grass in your backyard, some patio furniture, but you're not trying to play no bullshit. You want some rap, you want some nice little soul in the room. That's what you play. The hoes is gonna get drunk. If they smoke, they get high. Like, oh, this is all right, this is fire. And they get in their little groove. I'm not mad at this project. It's not gonna be one of the best albums of the year. Y'all can stop. But I came away having a better understanding of why Sin might have fucked with him in the first place. That's all I was saying.
But yes, now that you're on the Larry June
understanding train,
please. Not a fan, but you get it.
Yes.
Go back to Two Peas in the Pod. Go back to Orange.
Okay.
Those are the Orange Print is what made me pay attention, and then Two Peas in the Pod, I was like, oh, okay.
The Orange Print? Is that what it said?
Orange Print.
Shit.
That was the James Worthy shit.
Is he Hoover?
No, the James Worthy joint was Two Peas in the Pod.
Is he a gang member?
Yeah. Jay Worthy, not
Jay Worthy. You're right. Say that.
Right. Sorry, Gip.
Also, Free Smoke.
Chef it up.
Fuck Gip. Yeah, I mean, talking about our city like that.
Nasty.
Rim also dropped. We saw Rim a couple of times. You know what? Real quick. Sorry, Walter.
Shout out
real
to
quick.
Rim.
We've been outside a little bit. We went to Rim's event. In memory of Sean Price. Legendary shit. Boot Camp Clink was out in effect. Mickey Fax was there, dapped it up. We had Mickey Fax on the Rap Roundtable during the pandemic.
Yeah, go back. Check
He
the
pulled
archives.
up on us.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and Mickey Fax, I pulled up on Sin was in the cut. He had his beer. Well, yo, Sin, what up? Then I looked at him. I said, is that Mickey Fax? Yeah, it's Mickey Fax. And Mickey Fax looked at us. And we looked at Mickey Fax. And it was like we knew each other. So I was like, yo, Mickey Fax? He's like, yeah. Oh, what up? Good to meet you in person. You know what I mean? So we saw Rim at that spot. Rim was like, yo, I got some shit coming real soon.
Mm-hmm.
Then the following weekend, China Street, shout out to China. Vel 9, they had an event in Brooklyn. Dope event.
Great event.
Did not scare the ladies at all.
Queens get
in
the money.
fact, the ratio was like 2/3 women in that room. That's the kind of room, when rap is on,
Thank you, China.
I want the women in the room, some Cali girls, even the bouncer was a woman, and she was fire too.
Fire.
Just saying. Saw Rim at that spot too. Rim is like, yo, I got a project coming out, and it's fire.
End of the week.
He drops the visual with Kane and UFO Feeve. Kind of fire.
You're gritty.
Yo, Rim is a person who's very meticulous. I'm not gonna spend too much time because we're gonna get kicked out of the studio soon. I came away from this project, and it's like the thing that I love about Rim is that you can hear the thoughtfulness on these tracks. Yeah. He's not a person that just raps to beats. He's very meticulous about his craft. He put the work in. Another easy listen, another real true New York listen, big walk energy. And you know what? We need Rembrandt. If this is what that sounds like, we need Rembrandt, Rim. Thank you. Make that happen.
And salute the Rim on the homepage, on the new releases page on Apple Music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dope.
He made Rosenberg show, Peter Rosenberg's late night joint. He was on that playlist. So Rim is really stepping up. Shout out to the Ville, man.
Talk about
New Gritty,
Big
Back to
Brownsville.
Life, and
Yes,
Sit and
sir.
Duck is a great repeat.
Facts.
Listen to those back to back to back. Great
Facts.
records. Shout out to Rim.
And to speak a little bit more on New Gritty, excellent collab between him and Kane and UFO Feeve.
Yeah, that's epic.
UFO, come on.
Holla at us, Feeve.
The table,
UFO,
man.
man.
Like,
Fuck with us, Feeve. We fuck with you,
we
bro.
good guys over here, man.
Real unidentified right
Good
now.
dudes.
Listen,
Fuck with niggas.
Feeve another one of them ones too.
Bro, but like I have to speak to this. The mixing on New Gritty,
Mm-hmm.
perfection. The bass is
That's
just
a
at the
stamp
right
right
level. The drums are sitting exactly where they're supposed to be.
Dope video, too.
Yeah, a dope video. All the MCs get, floating on it.
Kano.
Love it.
And that was going back to Larry June real quick. That was the thing that I enjoyed too. The Sonics, like it was beautiful.
It was well. I mean, it's always
Prestige.
gonna. Alchemist is always
Listen,
gonna be.
Somebody
Prestige.
said Lush. Was that this?
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
right? Lush
Yeah.
from the June album. Yes.
Rembrandt need to drop this year. Stop holding on to that. You told us about Rembrandt last year. We need that.
You're moving right now.
Also,
Talk about it.
everybody in the chat, if you want to hear some great fire from a female rapper that's not rapping about her body parts, Vel 9. If you don't know who she is,
Cloud9 is dope.
She's fucking dope. Like, she's even doper than I thought she was when I went to the show. So she's actually nice.
And she's from the West Coast. No bias, y'all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Tap in with that. We was gonna talk about another album, but Sin said Ixnay it, so we got Ixnay it. Moving on. So word came out that, Jim Jones wanted a Verzuz rematch with the Lox. And then Jadakiss apparently accepted. So the question that I thought about when this happened is, who wants that? So I'll answer it for myself. I don't want that rematch. Like what are you gonna do this time that you didn't do the first time? Musically. The catalog, you gonna run the same verses back again?
What was that key first?
Which one?
Nobody.
Oh,
damn.
Shit.
Nobody wants that, bro. At all. Why?
Sent threw it off the backboard to himself.
Listen, man.
Shit.
Yo, bro, it was a bloodbath. It was a massacre. Why we gotta look at that again?
What songs we gonna play? That's what I want to know.
Y'all ran through the catalog.
Exactly.
And it didn't hit.
And Killer not gonna join y'all this time.
That's a fact.
No, we don't want that. We don't need it. Move on. You're not redeeming yourself. Or you just gotta hold that L and move on. That's just.
Dina, you agree?
Sin covered all my bases, bro.
Would it be like one of those boxing matches where it's like we would all pop out because for the hype, but it won't be good?
It'll be beautiful to see two legendary New York crews back on the main stage. But like we said, are y'all gonna do new records? You gonna spit the same verses just later in order? Like, how's that gonna work? And it's that was a LL, bro. That was a
rework the system.
Yeah, like I don't understand how they would.
You can't recapture that.
You can't
energy.
redeem team that, man. That shit was painful.
It's the energy for me. It's like you can't recreate that. And it's like, again, we were in Harlem. Y'all had my Brooklyn ass come to Harlem for this Verzuz, and I watched Harlem start cheering for the Lox in real time.
It was real shit, man.
Mace, you've been quiet.
Yo, Jim, I love you, bro, but hell no, man. I don't want to see my foot versus a roach again. I don't want to see Hiroshima again. I don't want to see 9/11 again. This was a massacre of high proportions, and I don't want to see anything that ugly ever again, man. Hell no, bro.
That shit was like John Wick 4, bro.
Listen, man.
Just bodies everywhere.
They should have NSFW anytime they post that shit, bro. Shit was nasty. Jim Jones out of his damn mind.
We expected though, Jimmy, but
ridiculous.
Just move on.
Maze, really, bro?
Yeah, Mace.
Not suitable for work.
Bro. Mace with the homicide.
Listen, man, that shit was nasty.
Nobody
ugly,
wants it. Killer Cam not involved. What you gonna play, Jim? That's the question.
That you didn't play.
Right.
Lobby Boys?
I mean,
what?
But still,
El Capo was fire though, to be fair.
It's not enough though.
Yeah.
It's good,
man.
But it's not enough.
Yeah.
Right. We have ad-libs because of that Verzuz, bro.
Did Jada even back out Last Days with Big?
I don't think he did.
Oh,
no,
he did it.
Right? There's a whole other Jada Kiss bag that he
could dig. A lot of tapes that resonated heavy with the people.
Problem, man.
Stockholm Syndrome. Look it up, Jim.
Shit.
Jim Jones, my question to you would be, why? We don't need it.
Damn it.
We don't need it. Now,
nonsense.
We've gotten all the news out of the way. This has been a fun episode. A lot of laughs, a lot of energy, but Macito is bringing the segment, the voice of the industry, back on deck for episode 68. So Mace, what you got for us, fam?
We back. You know, I came up, I came in wanting to speak about a specific thing, right? But and we spoke about this in the chat earlier. I don't know if y'all peep. It might be a few days late, a few days, you know, in the news cycle by the time y'all see it. But BTB Savage, not a famous rapper out of Houston. I don't know if y'all seen this whole saga on Twitter, right? So this guy, I didn't even hear about this issue because apparently it happened 2 months ago. But apparently, you know, to wrap it up quickly, he was selling verses online. Somebody tried to buy a verse. They came to his house, tried to rob him, you know, him and his girlfriend, you know, and ended up killing the dude. You know what I mean? He had the interview on Vlad about 4 days ago. He posted a picture on Twitter at the murder scene, which was in his apartment. If you guys know the situation, you'll probably know a bit better. And he was murdered about 4 hours later.
Whoa.
So all in 4 days, all of that happened, right? So that got me to thinking. Y'all did some research, right? So in the 80s, 2 rappers were murdered. Not died. 2 rappers were murdered. Both shooting deaths. In the 90s, 10. Huge jump. 10 rappers were murdered in the 90s. All by shooting death. In the 2000s, we had 12 rappers murdered. All by shooting death. In the 2010s, we had 22 rappers murdered. And then in 2020s, we got 17 already.
Shit.
Yeah.
We're barely in 2023.
we
Still
barely,
quarter,
we
bro.
3 years in and we already done beat every decade but the last. So it got me to thinking, right?
That's crazy.
Why is rap getting more dangerous as more money is coming? Now I get it. You know, you got to look at the percentages, right? There's more rappers than ever, right? We got to look at that. But is it that? Is it the glorification? Is it more money at stake? So that's why, there's more shit going on. Is it that secret meeting? I know you online folks. You know what I mean? You blog lovers. The secret meeting in 1991 where the powers that be decided that gangster rap was gonna put everybody in jail. Is it that? I don't know. You know what I mean? I love The Wire and The Sopranos like everybody else. I gotta catch up on Snowfall. I'll get to the last season because I heard this season is shaking. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But the thing is this, right? Damson Idris could go on late night and talk about, how he's a murderer, right? K-Flock catches bodies in Designer and he's sitting in jail right now. So it's like, there's a lot of things to blame. The music industry, the rappers themselves, how things going on. But me personally, I think I'm to blame, Deanie's to blame, Sin's to blame, Job's to blame.
What?
And you are to blame. The consumer is to blame because at the end of the day, if we keep letting this ride by, if we keep glorifying this, if we keep letting rappers tie in the street culture and enjoying it as fans ourselves and boosting it ourselves, that we can't judge them. We can't do it. I'm sorry, guys.
Right.
At the end of the day, we are enabling this. When we like nicer rappers, you know what I mean? And I want you to understand, maybe I'm not talking to you, NTG, but I'm talking about us as the whole. You understand what I'm saying? Us as the rap fandom. You know what I mean? We have to let these rappers know this ain't gonna work. I'm tired of having a favorite rapper one week and he's dead the next week, and then picking a new favorite rapper and then he's dead the next week. I'm tired of it. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I did the numbers. I looked at it, guys, and we going downhill with this. And at the end of the day, I think it's us as the consumer that's the biggest issue in this. And we have to basically let them know it's not going to work.
That's a fact, because he posted that pic for the likes, for the clout.
Yes, sir. And we always liking it. We always retweeting it. We always sending each other in the group chats like, look at this shit. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, we're also jaded and everything is so unserious to us. And I don't mean us personally. I don't mean me personally. Just us as a society. Like you go on Twitter and there's like jokes about this shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Real
and
shit.
it's like, and I looked at one of the jokey tweets and I chuckled for a second and I caught myself. I'm like, nah, this ain't nothing to be laughing about.
Twitter will do that to you, bro.
Yo,
Right.
bro,
Twitter
like,
do it to you.
So
Cesspool.
yeah, man,
Real
you gotta
talk.
take some shit serious.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah, well, there you go, guys. We're in trouble here as a consumer. Mase is giving us the pop out. We need to be better. I'm not supporting anything else negative. Honestly, I haven't really been leaning into that. I try to avoid that. Even like there's been videos about even like the Troy Ave and Mano situation post-trial.
Right.
I haven't clicked on any of those videos. I'm trying my best to not lean into the negativity. You know what I mean? I didn't even know about this kid until y'all put me on with the whole situation. Because it's like, if it's ignorant, I ain't trying to fuck with it. But I do be liking some good old rap beef. I am the consumer. I'm guilty of it. And I'm going to try to be better. Chat, try to be better. Walter, you need to be better too.
Oh, let's do it.
Gotta be
better.
threshold
We got
set.
to, man.
But
we need some new Most Defs and Commons.
Now fuck that. You know what we need?
Maybe.
We need more videos of Megan Thee Stallion throwing out the first pick.
That was
Hey,
stop.
girl.
Old beef.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Not mine.
That'll
Propose.
get us.
Hey.
All the joint hands in unison.
Now, we have
White Pants Mag.
a pretty safe mailbag segment for a change. I didn't lean into the negativity because you know what? You know, these guys, they're gonna curse us out, they're gonna love us. It's common, you know, whatever. Now, from the lunch table episode we had, lunch hour that we had recently, I threw this in a group chat, so I figured I'd make it part of the show. Killer Lipstick, crazy name, says, go play Andre 3000 Roses and Prodigy Keep It Thorough and talk to me going to the street. What are you bumping? Deanie, what are you bumping?
I'm not bumping a fucking Prodigy, man.
Freudian
like,
slip.
Yeah, Freudian. Don't get me wrong.
You're gonna play
like,
Roses, ain't you?
Roses, it hits when it hits. You get what I'm saying? But I'm pro P. You dig? I'm playing Prodigy.
Mace, what you playing?
Pro P, you like no comment actually. I'm playing Prodigy, man.
Okay.
Keep It Thorough, man. Don't know why. What was the other
Roses,
song?
Bob.
Roses. Man, not my grandmother don't even
That's
want
a
to
fucked
play
up
Roses.
comparison, though. Yeah.
Right? That was fucked up.
I'm playing
Killer
Keep-
Lipstick.
I'm playing
Killer
Keep It
Lipstick
Thorough
sounds like
also.
they playing Roses though.
Yeah, that's crazy. I got Keep It Thorough 10 times out of 10.
10.
You know what I mean?
11.
I don't see why this
I just want to pick
is-
Roses just to fuck up the balance.
Please do.
No, I'm kidding. I'm playing.
You're keeping it thorough?
I'm keeping it.
But didn't you have some other thoughts about this comparison?
I did.
Talk about
but
it.
I mean, y'all fucking up my lawn segment now.
Oh, well, you know
Y'all
what?
stepping on my tulips
To
too
be
early.
con-
Nah,
to be
nah,
continued.
we gotta let
To
Sin
be
cook.
continued.
Sin gonna
Because
cook you.
I'm pretty sure we're all on the lawn at this point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I
Good
might
there.
be on that lawn, man. I ain't gonna
Sin
lie.
gonna mow us down. Pause.
From the Fly Lifestyle episode 67, we have Tornadic 1983. He says, y'all are right about the women loving drill music. You somewhere like Miami, LA, etc. You hear Moneybag, Lil Baby, Yo Gotti, Travis Scott, etc. everywhere. So Mace, is this accurate? Do the ladies love to get sturdy?
I ain't gonna hold you. My boy didn't name one drill artist.
Yeah.
in the group that
was
he
like,
named. Women love trap.
They drill influence though.
Yeah, women love trap too. You know what I mean? I think that's what you were leaning into, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, women love drilling trap. You know,
Love a vibe.
if you ever seen a woman do the Rowdy Rebel verse off of computers, you know.
Oh, they
Facts.
love that verse.
love that
Oh
verse.
my God. Next one from Browser. This is a compliment to the Rap Roundtable. We don't get many of those. We get a lot of tomatoes. So when the
Nice when we
compliments
get
come, we gotta highlight them.
Nice.
Browser says, it's so enjoyable to watch you guys and your chemistry. I never saw any of those movies, but this is so entertaining. So they're talking about when we were talking about Belly and
Right.
and what was it? Streets is Watching. Yeah. You
Ghetto
know.
classics.
Juice, Paid in Full.
What was the other one? It was
Above the Rim.
It was 3 movies. It was Belly, Paid in Full, and there was something else. It was like how? Oh no, 'cause-
Juice.
No, it
Juice.
was Belly and Paid in Full because they were talking about Nas, DMX, and Jay-Z, and then we started talking about all those other movies. Well, Browser, if you're watching this podcast, you need to watch those movies.
Fuck
Facts.
with us.
But we appreciate the compliment. We don't get many
Thank
of
you,
those. You know, they be fronting on us, but we run a good show here at the Rap Roundtable. If you actually get the show,
We try our
sir.
best.
not like Dath, who just wants to argue every time we speak. You know what I mean? And Jack Lang, who's just mad, who's according to Hip Hop Bot. The last episode, he was like, they're a better show, Mike D and Cooper better. I'm like, yo, we not even talking about these guys. Why are you in our chat saying that?
Jack Lang is cool in my book.
Why?
Because he was agreeing with me last time.
Oh, fuck. Go to According to Hip Hop with Cooper and Mike D then. Fuck. My man was in our chat.
Jack be flaming me every
Niggas
chat.
are showing us love, and Jack is like, the better show is in Atlanta. I'm like, bro, we did, like, why you doing that?
Sucking dick.
Yo.
Nut hugging.
Oh, shit. You might need to cut that out.
Nah, Jack need to hear that.
Hold it.
Nah, if you gonna slander us at the end of the show, when the show was off the air, he was throwing this shit
Yo.
in there.
Yo,
Wildin'.
crazy.
Wildin'.
Flambe that nigga.
Everybody was gone.
Last one from the mailbag, we have Adriel Green, legend,
Shout out to the
Super Chat
homie
MVP,
AGL.
Yeah, one of the
Big
goats.
time.
a true
Facts.
fan, a true supporter of the Rap Round, a nigga who I would say he fucks with us.
Fucks with you,
Yeah,
brother.
man.
He says, speaking of not scaring the whole sin, Benny has been sitting on 2 records with Drake for over a few years. Also, he said he had a song with Nas 2 years ago produced by Hit Boy. He said he didn't release it because it was specifically a girl record. He said he thinks the fan base wouldn't want to hear that for their first collab as a song for the chicks. They'd rather have bar work. So, Sam, what do you think about that whole perspective?
Let that go.
Okay.
Release it.
Real shit.
Put it out there, bro. Like you can't be like you can't be scared to not scare the hoes.
Word.
Either.
You can't be scared to invite the hoes.
I mean, the
invite them.
The moral of the story is just don't be scared to make a move because you think that a certain fan base is gonna turn their back and not fuck with you. They wasn't a real fan in the first place. Right. You know what I mean? The amount of artists that I've stayed a fan of through their experimental phases and the phases where they weren't putting out like the best material, I'm still a fan. You know what I mean? So if they're a fan, they're gonna stick. If they leave, then they're not a real fan, bro. Like, release that.
You a fan of the artist or a fan of the aesthetic? That's always the question.
And Benny, you could use a couple female fans, bro.
Oh yeah,
that's a fact.
Oh yeah,
let's get
it. They release them, Drake.
Like out of the OG Griselda 3, Benny's probably the one most likely to not scare the hoes.
Yeah.
If he puts out the right music.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So make that move, man.
You can't whisper in a woman's ear. You know?
What is this?
Yo.
You don't have no Brent Fires in
Hey, yo, listen.
Just
now,
sneaking up on a broad and being like in her ear.
After this episode,
hey, yo.
You know, we have ruined yo.
In her ear. It's mad loud in her ear.
Hey yo, you look mad good. Your outfit from Shine.
Bro.
I want you to be mine.
She's scared.
Yo, so we uptown. We've stomped all over Sis, Tulips, his roses, his petunias. They're all fucked up.
Yep.
We're getting kicked out. He's been throwing like rocks at us. It's getting ugly. I don't think there's gonna be a roundtable after this long because we've been wilding the fuck out. Sincere the Raps Out needs us and you too.
Get off my lawn.
Talk about it.
Yeah, man. This one's gonna be super short because like we've covered a lot of this ground already. But like Job said, there was a particular comment on our lunch break segment by Killer Lipstick, and I mean honestly, this lawn doesn't go out just to you, but you're just
Killer Lipstick.
You're just you're just the sacrificial lamb because somebody got to be an example. But like the comment that he made that Job already read earlier was. He said, "Go play Andre 3000 Roses," and he wrote Prodigy, but he meant Prodigy.
It's not a she.
No, being petty.
It's not a she.
Keep it thorough.
What it was.
And talk to me going to the street. What are you bumping? Now, obviously, in that comparison, right? And I'm going into the street.
I break bread.
I'm a break bread and $100 bills and ribs. I forgot the ribs. But I have an issue with people that cherry pick for their personal narrative, and this is just such an egregious example of what people do to make their point, and it's so lazy. Like watch this, watch. I'm gonna make two of them.
I'm gonna just lean back
right now. Right, yo. What would you rather listen to? It like you bumping in the car, you going in the car, you bumping Jay-Z, You Don't Know, or Nas, Who Killed It?
Well, to be fair, the chat will play Who Killed It.
Do-rags. Fact, do-rags.
All right, now I'm gonna go the other way. You going in the car, you going in the whip, what you gonna blast? New York State of Mind by Nas or Jay-Z Beach Chick?
Nas.
And you see how easy that is? You know what I mean? Just break everything down and make everything just like one singularity for your one single comparison for your own point. Like, stop doing that. Like that's just it's lazy. It's not a good point. It's lazy debating. It's lazy arguing. If you do that cherry picking shit just to make a lazy ass point, please get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Do the due diligence. Let's talk about catalog for catalog and have a real debate, real argument, real conversation. That 1-for-1 shit, when you could pick and I've seen this on TikTok too. I've seen it everywhere. Like people trying to shit on Nas because they're like, oh, like you know, like he got this song that's like super trash or whatever. Like, yeah, everybody got trash songs. Just stop doing that shit.
Get off my lawn.
If you think you're gonna get sincere to rap and debate about songs that are not even linear in any kind of way,
get off my lawn.
If you're using TikTok for rap debates,
get off my lawn.
If somehow you thought coming in the comment section and comparing roses to keep it thorough was valid,
get off my lawn.
Yo, this has been episode 68 of the Rap Roundtable.
Yes, sir.
We had a lot of fun with y'all.
Yes, sir.
I know there's gonna be a lot of dislikes for the opening segment, but that's okay. Man. We love you.
We do.
We need this episode to get to at least 250 likes. Hit that like button for us. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button for us.
Right now.
If you stuck around till the very end, we need you to do that. This was fun. You know, I like where the show is going. I like where the chat is going. We are growing as a family. You know, I'm really fucking with the energy, and it's like we've kind of figured out the people who know what's going on with this show, and the people who are just hate watching. And the people who know what's going on, like the Hudsons, the NTGs, the Marcoses, Adriel, Miss LB,
Mad Max, what up?
Mike H. We got a lot of love, man.
A lot of you guys.
We fuck with y'all. Y'all don't even know we fuck with y'all.
Actually watch the show and know what the fuck is going on and know there's 4 friends talking about rap and not trying to tell you we're experts. We never said we were. We fuck with y'all.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? To the people who didn't pull up for that live after we invited you to throw a little bread and you'll get as much time as you need. Y'all baited. Y'all didn't want that. Y'all didn't want the smoke.
No smoke.
Homie with the Z in his name said he was gonna call out me specifically. I was waiting on
no
you,
smoke.
Bro. I was waiting.
Spend it.
Dionel ducked the fade.
He was popping that shit,
now,
D.
what up, nigga?
What up?
That's
the homie, bro.
Fade. I'm just saying the invite is still open to the masses.
What up?
Deanie, take us home.
Well, first I want to say shout out to the homie Walt, you know, always keeping us right. Shout out to you, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Once again, shout out to Denona Rosa. We are on our way right now. We hungry.
Yes.
Feed niggas. Shout out to my nigga Masito.
Sir, my guy.
The voice. The culture. I'm a little smacked. Don't judge me. Shout out to So Sincere. You hear the production. Technician.
Facts. We didn't mention it at the top. Always on the boards, 1 and 2s. Man.
Always on the boards, man.
Another classic.
So Sincere. Shout out to Jaws,
Super
man.
producer.
The passes, the alleys have been magnificent.
Jaws might be the GOAT podcast.
The facilitator. Ain't nothing greater than the facilitator, you dig?
Man.
I'm Dean, the balance of the force. I'm a little schmiz, little drizz. But you know, we in the building, the Rap Round fucking table. And we out here.
Yes, sir.
The heroes you need.
Hey, yo. Episode 68. You love the hate. 69. You gotta wait. Boom.
Yes, sir.
Yo, we stupid.
Tell girl you right quick on my break.
Boom.
Oh, man.
Leave all of that in there, Walt.